Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest live show of all time. That is right, everybody. Now, today we have a very special guest. Some of you may or may not know who Kalvin Garrah is, and today we're going to be reacting to, what's the best way of putting it? A delusional TERF lady. I'm so excited. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, I've actually reacted to this person before. She has a channel called Peak Trans. I also just realized that I forgot to take my hair out of a bun, so I'm gonna take my headphones off for a second. So one sec, hold on, wait. Oh jeez, ow, god damn it! I forgot to let my hair down because it's been up for a while. So I kind of forgot. Now I'm looking at myself. I'm like, okay, I look good, but like, I want my hair down. Ow. I hate these things sometimes. Jesus. Oh god, now my hair's a mess. That was a bad idea. I should have left it up. Okay, anyways. Hold on, let me put my headphones back on. Okay, anyways, where were we? Oh, right. Kalvin, would you like to introduce yourself for anybody that doesn't know who you are?
Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry, I'm trying to find a webcam for you. Hold on.
No worries. No worries. Hold on.
My name's Kalvin, everybody. Hopefully there's some of you who have never heard of me, because that would be way better than probably people who know me.
Yeah, I mean, you're a lot different than you used to be. You used to be kind of cringe, now you're based. I mean, I also used to be cringe, so it's okay.
The joke's on you. I'm actually worse. Just in
Yeah.
a very different way. Yeah.
Yeah. I was I used to be very cringe. Based on what? Based on everything. Based
Well,
on everything.
you know who's cringe? Is this fucking TERF.
True. True. So I think that the first video we're gonna watch, and let me hold on. I'll
Wait,
start screen sharing.
let me
'Cause
get my
we've
webcam up.
Alright, bet.
Okay. Where's Jesus?
Where's Jesus? The greatest question of all time.
God, that TERF is ugly.
Yeah, she is. She is. Dude, I kept making fun of her on the
They are
last thing.
TERFs are so fucking offensive to look at. I'm sorry, they always are.
Right? Like they talk about like how ugly trans people are, and then you look at them in their fucking profile picture, and it's like they'll like do like a weird like angle where it's like really easy to see like their crusty neck flaps, and it's like, damn, like why did you think I wanted to look at this? What is your line of reasoning here? So yeah, so the person we're going to be reacting to is none other than Peak Trans. Oh boy, I'm so excited. I've compiled an entire playlist
Does
of
this
their
person
videos.
know of your existence?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. She did a video responding to Hunter Avalone,
Oh
who
god.
ended up responding back. So that's how I know of her. She's never responded to me, I don't think. So she probably doesn't. But I put her in the description just to make sure I maximize the chances of her seeing it, just because I want her to know that I'm making fun of her. She's also British, I think. So yeah, there's always that. There's always that.
British and a TERF?
Yup. The
Ugh.
the deadly combination.
It's like the worst combination I've ever heard of. I cut my
Right?
webcam on. I'm not sure if you
Right?
can.
Hold on. Wait, is your webcam on? Wait, I can't see it if it is. Oh
Yeah.
wait, now I see it. Now I see it. Never mind. Hold on. Let me. Oh wait, I need to. Okay, wait. Exit full screen. Okay. Wait, like this. Okay. So before we do that, oh wait, how do I make this part go down? Wait. Oh. No, not show chat. I wanna. No, I wanna make the thing. Whatever. I'm retarded. Anyways. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, this is Kalvin Garrah. On screen right now. Very based. Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about a delusional TERF lady. I'm so excited. So I guess for the first few minutes we'll just chat for a little bit, and then we'll get started. I'm not sure if you have my stream chat in front of you. I have it
Yeah,
in front of me.
yeah, I'm popping it out. Hold up.
Yeah. Germany
Alright.
wants to know what's Jesus' full name. Yeah, his full name is Jesus Christ Chan Sanachu Prime Resurrected.
Oh
Uh,
God. I saw this hilarious meme on Instagram the other day of Christian, and it was like just a girl in her special necklace, and it was a picture of Christian
That's
with
so
this other
based. Based.
thing. I've met Christian before.
Wait, actually?
In person, yes.
Oh no. Dude,
Years and years ago.
that's wild. That's
Mm.
wild. Dude, I would be scared of her. Cause isn't she like 6 feet?
Mhm.
I feel like she would tower over me and just terrify the shit out of me. I don't know.
She was at BronyCon. I went to BronyCon with this other YouTuber named FPS Diesel.
Wait,
like,
I know
and-
who he is.
Yeah, he's actually super nice, really cool guy. And it was back in like the anti-Onision days, because I had some beef with Onision like for a while. And honestly, it was completely by my choosing. I honestly instigated that just because I wanted to have beef with Onision. But I became friends with like some of the anti-Onision people, and FPS Diesel was one of them. And he was like in Maryland, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to go to this Brony convention with me because Chris Chan will be there?" And I was
Oh
like,
my god.
"Of course." And it was not very
That's-
uneventful. It was very uneventful.
Yeah, well, I feel like Chris Chan is like one of those people where it's like they spurg out online and it's very entertaining, but like at the same time, you know, I mean,
I feel bad for them sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know, I feel like in person they're like more like I don't know. I don't think that they're like usually a threat or anything. I think that they're just like kind of I don't know. Aside from when they're by themselves with their mom, then it's like
I
okay.
really do wonder if that really happened though.
Yeah,
You know
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not 100% certain, but it's definitely not a good look.
Yeah, no, I know that there's like what was I gonna say? I know that like just the internet, the way they would like take advantage of her having autism and stuff.
Yeah, that
Like I
was
always
fucked up.
wonder. No, I wonder if it was like kind of coerced for her to say it, you know, like or to like admit. I don't know the extent of that whole situation.
I think she might have been either coerced or manipulated it into actually doing it. That was always my interpretation, is that it actually happened, but that people were like enabling it and encouraging it and telling her like, oh yeah, this is actually how the dimensional merge is gonna happen or some shit like that. That's always what I thought.
Oh my god, I could totally see that being the case.
Yeah. Dude, are you excited for the dimensional merge?
It's gonna happen when we watch this TERF video.
Dude, this TERF is the key to the dimensional merge.
The dimensional merge will happen.
All right. So, without further ado, hold on. Oh wait.
The gender cult.
Yeah, dude. I mean we already watched the gender cult video on a stream. So, I think the first video we're going to watch is how about oh, I don't know, maybe her playing the victim card. So, if you look at my screen share, here's the order of videos I've lined up. And we're going to watch It's Time to oh god, I can't even read. The first video we're going to be watching is called It's Time This Bully Stopped Dining Out on His Lies About Me from 4 months ago.
Woman?
It probably is.
Yeah.
Probably. I haven't seen it yet.
To be.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah,
they are always detransitioners. We have to watch that one next, the detransition one after this.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. This is just us getting started, warming up, etc. Before we watch the video, we have to make sure to smash dislike. Why doesn't it? Oh wait, there we go. Sorry, it was being weird.
Offensive to look at.
God, right? So as you can see, the first frame of the video
is on YouTube.
Is women will not submit. Get over it. Submit to what? I'm so confused. Submit to me? So true, King. That they would peg me instead. Okay, anyways, let's get started. Jesus Christ.
Hi everyone, long time no see. I don't claim to be as strong as many others in this battle who endure much more than I do.
Guys, she's just a weak little small bean. Don't worry, don't bully her. She's just a weak little small bean that thinks that I'm subhuman, guys. Don't worry.
On a daily basis. Sometimes, like over the past few weeks, it all gets too much, and I've been finding it hard to get past it. Maybe making this video will do the trick. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Also, what an incredible frame to pause on, I will say. Dude, if I ever... Bro, I'm sorry, but like... Even with the shitty camera,
How old is
like,
this person? Like, is it like, don't you have better things to do?
I don't know, she's probably like 75 or something. She looks old enough to be retired. Am I wrong, though? Am I wrong, though? I feel like she's old enough to be retired, right? I don't know. Let's just continue.
But it's November 2023, and according to the man who goes...
Okay, so it's a trans woman. It's not a man.
What?
It's just...
That person looks like her. They look
No,
like they could be sisters.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to insult this person by comparing her to this thing.
Right.
You know?
I'm just
this
saying,
looks like a...
that person looks more feminine than her.
Yeah, exactly. She looks more feminine, more pretty, etc. than this... What do I call this thing? I don't know. I don't know if woman is the correct term.
A lesbian who desperately needs to be laid. That's
yeah,
all
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I always interpreted her as having like a gross, like crusty, infested vagina with like earwigs crawling out of it or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a little bit uncharitable, but like, who knows? Anyways, let's continue.
By the name
I called her
of
Dolores Umbridge.
What?
Someone said I called her Dolores Umbridge. She lost it.
Oh god. It uses neo pronouns. Yeah, maybe we could use idiots. I don't know. Wait, I think she was saying the name of the person.
2023, and according to the man who goes by the name of Joss Pryor, I'm still dining out on the assumption.
Okay, so hold on. You're 30 seconds in and you're already misgendering this bitch. You're complaining about you getting bullied when you're the one misgendering an innocent trans person. But okay, they're the bully. It literally says in the title, it's time this bully stopped dining out on his lies about me, about a fucking trans woman. Oh my god.
Was she like, wait, what is this tweet even referring to? Did somebody like physically attack the TERF? They were half her age, only one hit her. By admission, she kicked it in. Did she get into a physical fight? Like
dude, I hope that the TERF lost. I hope the TERF lost. Dude,
like,
I don't care who started the fight. I think that the TERF deserved it. This dickhead hasn't
100%.
stopped dining out on an incident that happened in 2017. So it happened like years ago, like 6 years ago, or 6 years prior to this or whatever. That she has refused to accept any due responsibility for because she's a childish attention seeker. True. They were half her age, which means that they're like 40, I guess. Only one hit her. By her own admission, she kicked and hit them more times. Interesting.
this person committed a hate crime against a transgender person. Okay.
Yeah, and she's playing victim afterwards. Oh no.
Assault on me by 3 men at Speaker's Corner 6 years ago.
3 men? I find that hard to believe. When
and
you
it's
say
like
men,
someone that looks like Blair White.
Yeah, literally. It's somebody that looks like...
It's like you and Blair White.
Yeah, me and Blair White. We're literally like fucking shorter. Yeah, these big hulking men. And it's just like me, who's like 5'6", Blair White, who's 5'5", probably short. And then whatever this lady is, maybe 5'8", who fucking knows? Just towering. Yeah, the big hulking men that are towering under her.
This big hulking man that we're looking at, because she's probably been on T if she's a detransitioner.
Wait,
She
is
probably
she?
got man shoulders. I
Wait,
think so. There's a video called They always are. They always are detransitioners. Haven't you noticed that?
Is that why they always
Always.
look like? Is that why they don't pass?
Yes.
Interesting.
They always yes. They've been on T and stuff. Yes.
Shit, maybe this woman was on T. I don't know.
think
Maybe
she
that's.
We'll see. We're gonna find out. Okay.
I mean, she definitely looks like she could be. I don't know.
Estrogen filled chats.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, she looks. I don't know. She looks more similar to Chris Chan than the average trans woman. Like, am I wrong though? I feel like she
No.
does.
She looks like her.
Literally.
Pryor, who, unlike me, has obsessed over this episode ever since it happened, and
Oh, here's another one. Okay. I'm watching some of the driveling from Posey at Bristol. It's only bearable on double speed. She's so fittingly ridiculous. Maria Mack was still dining out. Oh wait, I think Maria is this person.
Yeah.
Maria Mack was still dining out on a scuffle she instigated 5 years ago. How embarrassing. They have to reach back 5 years while pretending we're dangerous. True. I'm sorry, but if your most recent example is one person 5 years ago, that's fucking pathetic. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because she only goes out like once every 5 years. So like, that's just like the most recent example of her going out. So she can be like, ah, well, you see, the last time I went outside, I was attacked by a trans woman, parentheses 5 years ago. But
It's also
I don't
like,
know.
Why are you 60 years old in a physical fight? Like, that's crazy.
Right?
That's insane.
Right? Literally. It's actually impressive, I have to say.
She's bold.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll give her that. I mean, she's out here most likely starting fights with random trans people and wondering why she's gotten the shit beaten out of her.
has commented on it ad nauseum, has made this same allegation that I'm dining out on the experience many times since.
So here's another one. Maria has never stopped banging on about this. I made a video at the 2-year anniversary because she has been dining out on it ever since and drags it up constantly, as do her, quote, gang. And as always, I get piled on. So I made a 2-minute video to spam the pile on. Interesting. So it seems to be the case that this bully is getting piled on by a deranged TERF lady and maybe some other gender criticals or TERFs or whatever the fuck they like to call themselves. And she, responded like 2 years after because they kept bringing it up, and that somehow makes her the bully, apparently. I don't know. It doesn't make any logical sense to me.
Somebody need more contacts.
Dude, yeah, no, honestly.
Is there a video of that happening? I want to see that.
I don't know. I just believe that anything that this person is saying is a lie, and I'm just gonna side with the trans person until there's evidence presented against them.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Like, I don't know. Like, a delusional TERF lady is not a reliable source of
reliable.
information.
Yeah.
Like, whatever
They're
she's saying,
delusional.
whatever she's saying, the opposite is probably true. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you know, she would definitely, I don't know, she's probably not going to react to this because it's going to end up being like kind of a long live stream, but she probably, I don't know, like I could understand like, okay, if like, whatever, she misgenders me or whatever, because like, okay, I've been on HRT not that long. I'll admit, like, I'm a little bit of a non-passoid, you know, we all start somewhere, but
It's not even true.
It kind of is. It kind of. But like if she were to I feel like she would also go out of her way to misgender somebody like you. And like I cannot imagine using she, her pronouns for you, Kalvin. That's insane to think about.
I've had TERFs do that a ton of times. So like they love the words Tim and Tiff. And one time I was hanging out with back when I was
Timothy's and the Tiffany's.
The Tiffany's and the Timothys. No, when I was friends with Blair White way back in the day, like I will say that one of my favorite things to do with her, because I didn't like to talk about anything else politics wise, would be to just dog on TERFs. Like,
right?
Make so much fun of this one TERF. God, I wonder what she's up to these days. We'll have to watch her one day.
Oh hell yeah! You'll have to send her to me.
Tiffany and Timothy.
Dude. Dude, the Timothys and the Tiffany's need to rise up.
Yes, apparently not too much though, because apparently y'all got into a physical fight with this bitch.
What pronouns does Kalvin use? He uses he, him. But yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. Dude,
Keep it rolling.
Dude, we gotta keep watching this shit. We gotta plow through this.
See, it happened.
So here's another one. Ha ha ha. Maria has been dining out on this for a year. You're still banging on about it. I thought all trans people were violent misogynists, and yet this silly schoolyard scuffle is all you keep bringing up. Interesting. It sounds like they're actually making a good point. Unless they come up with a specific example of something more recent.
How ironic is it that Pryor has mentioned it far more frequently than I have in the years since?
No, she's talking about you talking about it whenever you talk about it, you dumb bitch.
I only ever mention it to correct falsehoods about it and to express
Falsehoods about it? What are the falsehoods?
my
Apparently,
anger
did you see that
about the
last
word.
one? So she's transphobic, but also racist and xenophobic. But
Oh,
look how
God.
they put abusive, racist, and xenophobic before anti-trans. So I'm like, damn, what did she say?
That's interesting. That's interesting. We might have to find out what this link is.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
To correct falsehoods about it and to express my anger about the worst of those falsehoods, most of which were started by Pryor himself within hours of the assault in a 20.
How much you want to bet that the
Is that a
assault?
video?
How much you want to bet that the assault is literally just her getting up in somebody's face and like borderline like pushing them or some shit, and then the other person pushes her slightly harder? How much you want to bet that that's what happened? And then she
pretends to fall over.
Yeah. She pretends to fall. It's like she's getting in someone's face and somebody's like just like kind of like pushing her
get the
away
fuck
slightly,
away from me.
and she just like jumps backwards, just flying 30 feet because of the force of her feet going against the ground, and she just falls down and just starts fucking fake crying. Dude, I believe that that's probably what happened. Let's be real.
5 tweet thread that he has reposted many times in the years since, repeating the lie that I was the aggressor and put someone in
There's
a
a
headlock.
video, girl.
Well, yeah,
There's
play
a
the video.
video.
Show the video. Show the video. Is there a? Ooh, there's a timestamp.
yeah.
There's a timestamp. We gotta watch the timestamp. Okay, here's what happened from her perspective. Let's watch the video together. I'm so excited.
Oh,
This is me standing alone in front of quite a large group of young people, filming them shouting. Obviously, it is blatantly provocative of me not to be intimidated by them when intimidating
So you admit that you're provoking them, okay?
us is what they'd travelled all the way to Speaker's Corner to do. This is me attacking an innocent trans woman.
Wait, what? Is that her being sarcastic or what? I can't see what's going on. I'm so
don't know yet.
confused. I have no idea.
This is my unfortunate knee-jerk reaction when I tried to get footage of the innocent trans woman I attacked. This is another attack by me on 2 innocent trans women.
Oh wait. Okay, wait. Hold on, wait. Did she do a jump cut?
They did kind of grab her.
This is me
Let's see.
attacking an innocent trans woman. This is my unfortunate knee-jerk
we did.
reaction when I tried to get
Okay, so you're getting closer to them.
Look, why are you
You're
going
getting-
up to them?
Yeah, why are you going into their face? So this is her.
footage of the innocent.
I can't see
Damn!
what happened. Wait. Hold on.
They
Wait, we
grabbed
gotta-
her.
Wait, I think you might be right. Wait, this person's face is covering it. Wait. Hold on.
Yeah,
Okay, so hold on. So it
I don't know
looks
who
like-
swung first. I can't
Yeah,
tell.
I can't tell. It's too far
I
away.
think she swung first. I think she swung on those trans people.
Wait. Look. Wait, hold on. So she's getting closer. Okay? They're getting closer. Okay? They're walking towards each other.
I think they're just trying to move her camera. Like, they don't want to be filmed.
Yeah, so it looks like they're pushing her away, I think.
Like,
I attacked. This is another
Okay.
attack by me on.
They definitely, I guess they escalated it, I guess you could say. But like, this is like they're like the most like skinny, like non, like, they're, Like they're
Right.
they're like the least intimidating individual ever. Like it looks like a bro. Like she's trying to push the lady. This is like this is nothing. Like what?
Yeah,
She's
she
barely
grabbed her
moving.
arm.
She's barely moving. This is nothing.
And look, they get pulled away.
Yeah, they get pulled away by the other people. So clearly this isn't the majority of trans people. This is one isolated incident.
Also, we're
No.
not even hearing the audio because what did she say?
I don't know. Probably some transphobic shit.
Probably some really fucked up shit. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Also, for those of you asking for a fit check, here it is. Here's my epic skirt and thigh highs. This is the what I decided to wear today. Anyways, let's continue. Where were we?
I can't see you, but I'm sure the fit slays.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Here's me attacking one of the innocent trans women by
Bro, I
trying
can't
to
see
stop
shit.
her grabbing my camera. Here's my camera being smashed to the
'cause they won't
ground
be
by the innocent trans
filmed.
woman.
Yes!
Here's me trying to stop
Based-
the innocent trans woman running away by holding onto her however I can. Here's me attacking the first innocent trans woman again, getting
She's
right in
try-
the way of his fist.
Bro, we
And
can't
here's
even
my
hear shit.
final attack on the innocent trans women that was so vicious I ended up on the
Bro,
ground.
why are you zooming
The
in?
innocent
I
trans
can't
women
see
are obviously
shit.
so terrified
Would
at my brute
dramatically fall
strength.
to the ground.
Dude, yeah, she's like fucking look at this shit. She dramatically falls to the ground. Like she's what? Like the fucking weakest human being on the planet or some shit. Like
Final attack on the innocent trans women that was so vicious.
Why are you
I ended
60
up
years
on the
old at
ground.
this?
The innocent
yeah,
So
you're
I'm not-
just rolling around on the floor pretending to like, oh no, this was like a brutal attack.
trans women are obviously so terrified at my brute strength and ferocity that instead of calling the police and reporting me and handing over all the evidence, all the footage, they ran away.
So well, hold on a minute. So the issue wasn't that you're some extremely strong, powerful individual that's able to win every single fight. The issue is that you're being an annoying bitch trying to record them, and they were trying to grab your camera. That's what it looks like. You
Exactly.
fucking idiot. Why don't you show us the footage on your camera that you were recording? Or did the camera break or something?
I think
It's-
the camera might have broke.
Maybe. I'd like to see that footage though. Is there like a link to it in the description? Oh,
J.K.
actually there is.
Rowling?
Dude, imagine being proud of getting mentioned by J.K. Rowling. Okay, what the fuck is this? Okay, re-upload the assault on me at Speaker's Corner 2017, the abridged version. Oh god, let's see what the fuck this is.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria McLachlan, and this is
Shut up.
a full account of what happened when I was assaulted.
Dude, I don't care. Just show us the raw footage, you bitch.
Exactly 6 months after I was assaulted.
No one
I was
cares.
convicted of my assault under the name
No
of
one
violent
cares.
woman beating.
No one cares. Shut the fuck up. Show us the raw footage.
Evidence of this. The scene, Devon women friends.
Show us the.
Devon are seen to be holding phones, and this is
You're so
and who had
fucking
borrowed a megaphone
boring.
from one
Jesus
of the organisers because she wanted to sing us a song.
Okay, what's
This
this?
is the first frame. You can see me mouthing, "Where's the attack?" Well, a second later,
Why don't you play the fucking audio, you dumb
I
bitch?
found out
Look
the
at
attack
her.
was on me.
Ew.
So Tara Wolf runs
She's
at me.
so
So
gross.
nobody
knocks
hit
the
her. They
camera
just
out
had to
of my
knock
hand,
the
but it
phone
was
out of her
held
hand.
Yeah, literally.
by a loop round my wrist, so I retrieve it, and unfortunately, my knee-jerk reaction was to go after him and try to get footage of him as he hid
Wow, it's almost like you're the
So
aggressor,
stop
you
filming
stupid
people.
fuck. Dude. Oh my god.
behind his mates. This will be clear.
Guys, I'm the victim, even though I literally was going after them and constantly like recording them and getting in people's faces, and my knee-jerk reaction is to continue doing that after somebody tried knocking the phone out of my hand. Oh yeah, no, guys, I'm the victim though. I swear, I'm not the aggressor here.
Clearer in the next clip I show you. As you can see, I was prevented from getting the footage I wanted by someone shoving their piece of cardboard in front of my camera.
Based
I retreat, and then 2 thugs come after me.
thugs. Are they? Wait, were they black or I'm?
No.
I would hope not. If they were black, then the racism allegations are confirmed to be true.
Okay, we'll look at that from another angle. As you can see, Wolf runs behind.
See, nobody hit
another
her.
2 thugs
Yeah,
come
like-
after me. Okay, we'll look at that from another angle.
People were literally just trying to grab your camera, you stupid fuck.
As you can see, Wolf runs behind his mates. I follow his movements with my camera, raise it above their heads, blocked, and retreat and attack.
Yeah, you're
Like,
you're
that
you're
person
getting in
just
their
doesn't wanna be
faces.
filmed.
Dude, yeah, like they clearly don't want to be filmed. You're fucking recording them without their consent, and then you're getting in their face. You're clearly the aggressor after they've made it very clear that they want nothing to do with you, and then you wonder why they fucking push you and grab the camera. It wasn't an insult on you. They weren't trying to physically harm you. They weren't hitting you.
Right.
They were trying to grab your camera and break your camera. That was it. That was all they were doing because you were recording them without their consent.
This 95-pound man tried to attack me.
Yeah, this
Like
90-pound, 5'7" man that looks more like a woman than I do tried to attack me by grabbing my camera and throwing my camera at the ground, and mysteriously stopped having physical contact with me once the camera was destroyed. What a crazy coincidence. It's almost as if they weren't attacking me, but I won't mention that. So, at the end of the day, it's just another example of her being a lying bitch. So, I think we've proven that, she's just willing to make shit up in order to make herself the victim. So, let's watch the next video.
Yeah.
Detransition and Regret. Okay, wait, you haven't seen the intro, I don't think. You haven't seen her wacky intro, Kalvin. So, this is gonna be the first time you see it. So
excited.
I just smashed dislike, okay? It's called Detransition and Regret. Oh boy, I'm so excited. I can't wait to
Never
see
heard
what
that.
this is.
Never heard that from a TERF.
Yeah, literally.
Original.
So so original. All right, let's watch your epic intro. Dude, look at her fucking necklace. Look at her necklace. Wait, hold on, wait.
Hey.
She shows up, okay?
Oh my! It's her
Woman,
just a
adult,
woman in her
human,
special.
female.
Just a woman in her special necklace.
It's like the
Put her next-
ugliest necklace too. It's like the
Put her up
ugliest
next to
necklace.
Christian.
Dude, yeah, no, it's worse than Christian's Sonichu medallion.
Mm.
Dude, imagine if Christian had a Sonichu medallion, except it said woman equals adult human female. Oh god. I mean, that's basically what this is. Dude, can you imagine going out in public and wearing that shit?
No.
Hi, everyone. As I said in my last
Is that
video,
J.K. Rowling that they're
my-
holding?
I don't know. The first thing she shows is UK women say no to gender identity
When did they
ideologies.
start making propaganda posters?
I don't know. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh god. This is so bad.
primary motivation, my original motivation in opposing gender ideology came from seeing it as regressive. And I didn't want to see. And
Yeah, as opposed to your extremely progressive gender critical ideology. Oh god.
want to see men in women's spaces and sports. But then hearing the story
I love how, like, she has to conflate the sports thing with the women's spaces thing. The sports issue is like an entirely separate thing. Just to leave it up to the fucking experts to judge it on a case-by-case basis for each individual
Literally.
sport. Conflating that with something like the fucking bathroom discourse,
Like,
which has
exactly.
been statistically proven to be more beneficial to just let people use the bathrooms they want. Like, I'm sorry, but people like this are unironically in favor of having big hulking men like you and Buck Angel being
The
forced
women's
to use the
bathroom.
women's bathroom, as if
It's
that's gonna
crazy.
make, yeah,
Sorry, no, what were you saying?
yeah, as opposed to having people that like me or Blair White using the women's restroom. Like, what do you think is gonna be more threatening to them? Some big dude with a beard or me? Like, those are the options.
Both of those issues are honestly easily chalked up to like if an individual does something that creates like either as little as like injustice or like not fairness like in sports, all the way to like with the bathroom issue, like actually does something criminal to somebody. Like, do these people think a man can't just go in the bathroom and rape somebody? Like
Exactly.
a cis man, like they could do that any day of the week.
Yeah.
It's like if there's a trans woman that goes in the bathroom and does something awful, right? Then arrest her.
Yeah, exactly. The
Punish
same way they
that
would for
person.
Yeah, exactly. You judge it on a case-by-case basis. You don't judge an entire collective because of one bad person. Like, if you're a man, you don't need to wear a fucking dress and change your pronouns to go in the fucking women's restroom. You can just do that. There's not security guards that are gonna stop you.
Right.
Like, nobody, like, you could already do this before trans people were accepted. This is something people could already do. This isn't a new phenomenon.
And the sports thing is, again, it's such a... Unfortunately, the sports stuff being so popular has been really bad optically for the trans community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it is totally fair to say, like, for example, in a team sport, is one trans woman on a team of 20 people really making that huge of a difference?
No.
Maybe not. And not even close to as big of a difference in, like, a sport where, like, maybe having had gone through some, like, male puberty would give you a benefit. But again, like, a sport like gymnastics doesn't have that, whereas swimming might. So it is a case-by-case thing again.
Exactly. You judge it on a case-by-case basis. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, there's, like, a huge difference between, I don't know, women's boxing and women's chess. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I could understand being, like, concerned with, like, a trans woman who, you know, went through male puberty going into fucking women's boxing. Okay, maybe there's some genuine concerns there. Maybe you want to play it safe. Fine, whatever. Women's chess... What advantage do you think trans women have?
Even women's soccer. Like, if one trans woman is playing, like, offense on a women's soccer team, like,
yeah,
even if she's 6 feet tall, whatever, like, there are still cis women that are that tall and just one person on the team isn't making them a winning team suddenly.
Exactly.
You know, and I suspect there's a reason why we see it in the more prevalent examples in the individual sports, because I know that, and I've had messages from these people, that there's a lot of trans women that play on, like, sports teams that are a team, and, like, a team that competes together, like a soccer or basketball, lacrosse, whatever. Like, and that those aren't in the news because the one trans woman isn't making that big of a difference. So
exactly, like, if this was such a huge issue, like, if this was, like, such a huge advantage and such a huge issue, you would notice that like, every single soccer team is stacked with nothing but trans women. Like, but that's not the case. It's not the case because there aren't that many trans people that play sports, and B, you have to keep in mind that, like, the majority of trans people do not have that body type in the first place.
You think trans people are playing sports?
It's like there are cis women. There are cis women that have the same body types. Most trans women are, like, fucking the skinniest, weakest people on the planet if they're trans women, right?
Most trans women were twinks before.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, if you're scared of me competing in women's sports, you're just delusional. Like, I would lose. I would do terrible. I'd
root for you.
Yeah, I would try my best. Maybe I'd be able to win. Who knows? But dude, I don't know, man. Dude, people like this are just I don't know. We got to continue. We don't need to pause Andy too much.
Stories of regret of some of those who had medically transitioned or
You mean like the statistical minority? Like the vast
like vast
minority? Yeah. For the 2 trans people on the face of the earth that regret transitioning, that should single-handedly prevent other people from having bodily autonomy. Great. Thanks. Wonderful.
Also, can I just say, the detransitioning issue is not a thing that I see in MTF people or people that are assigned male at birth. Have you ever seen an AMAB person detransition that didn't do so because of, like, societal pressures? I have never even really seen that. You know, I've
Right?
never. It's maybe a little more of a nuanced issue with AFAB people, and there's like more of it happening. But like, this is not an issue with trans women, which is the group you love to attack.
Yeah. It's like you only talk about trans men in the context of infantilizing them, and in terms of trans women, you demonize them. That's their rhetorical strategy. That's what they do. That's why they do this. If it was more optically advantageous to also infantilize trans women, they would find examples of trans women that detransition, but it's not optically advantageous. I believe that there's most likely that this roughly the same amount of detransitioners on both ends of the coin, but that women that thought they were female to male are more optically advantageous because they're easier to infantilize, right? If they were to infantilize a male to female detransitioner or whatever the hell, that would destroy their entire narrative of we're all evil groomer predators or whatever.
Right?
So that's most likely why they're doing it, at least in my opinion. Anyways.
Reading them in articles or in books like this one by Walt Heyer.
Notice how they always cite books written by other TERFs instead of actual scientific data? Isn't it interesting how they do that? I don't know, just a little observation from me.
Was deeply upsetting and became a major motivating factor in my opposition to allowing easy medical transition rather than making patients wait and helping them explore.
Yeah, make them wait. Force them to go through the undesirable changes of puberty, even if they're an adult. Because, like, if you're, for instance, say, born as a biological male, but you're a trans woman, and you're 18, like, you're still going to experience changes into your late 20s and shit, right? Like, that was why I went on HRT before I even knew, yeah, I'm actually a fucking trans femme non-binary / woman / whatever the fuck my gender even is. I have no idea other than I'm either non-binary, trans femme, or a trans woman. I haven't really made up my mind there yet, but I'm definitely not a man. And, you know, I was terrified of my bone structure changing. But people like this would be in favor of me being forced to experience that level of dysphoria for no reason. Other than has this nebulous idea of, oh no, the big scary cabal of global elites is gonna trans the kids or whatever the fuck.
Or why they feel as they do, and waiting for children and teenagers to, at the very least, reach full adulthood.
Wait, you do realize that puberty blockers are used for people that aren't sure and for children that haven't decided yet. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of puberty blockers, is that they're reversible, so that you give them more time to make that decision. Because yeah, you're right. Generally, it's the case that a lot of children are going to be a lot less likely to be able to make that decision. That's the point of puberty blockers.
This does mean that for male transitioners, at least, it will be harder for most of them to convincingly pass as women because they will have gone.
Wow, if only there was some sort of, I don't know, solution to that problem. If you complain about the
actually, she doesn't want them. She doesn't want y'all to pass as women.
Yeah, she doesn't want them to. She on one hand complains about the big scary non-pathway to trans women, but then on the other hand, she doesn't want us to be able to have some sort of mechanism in place that allows us to fucking pass.
That is such a crazy thing for her to, because that's an admittal, right? That it's not actually about that saving the children or like making sure people don't regret it. It's about preventing more trans people. Like
exactly.
And preventing trans people who are happy. That is a crazy, I've never heard one say that. That's insane.
I mean, she just said the quiet part out loud. That's basically what she did.
She said the quiet part out loud right there. And that's crazy.
Literally. I mean, that is what she doesn't have any position that is based on ethics or anything grounded in reality. She just hates trans people. She just wants us to be miserable. That's it. That's all there is to it. Like,
that's insane. These people are so crazy.
No, literally.
Like, there's some art, right? There's like some things, like for example, like with like people who are MTF, where like there's this Jazz Jennings had this issue where like she didn't have enough like bottom growth essentially, like to get like vaginoplasty, like or she had to get like
Yeah.
additional stuff. But that's like, you know, that's something where it's happening in so few cases, and also
Yeah.
where like the issue
That's
isn't
not-
that she regretted
yeah.
it; it's that she
That's not
actually
trans
just
people's fault. Yeah, that's
right.
not trans people's fault. That is a medical professional doing malpractice, which happens in any medical procedure. There's always going to be some small proportion of people that don't adequately do the like a risk benefit analysis, or sometimes there are risks involved. But at the end of the day, what should have happened if she wanted bottom surgery, because I think what happened is she went on puberty blockers as a kid, then went on HRT or whatever. So there wasn't like enough tissue or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
What should have happened is the best suggestion there would be go off of hormones. It's gonna suck for a few months, so that there's some genital growth, because there objectively will be, and then get the surgery and go back on hormones. That's what they should have done. That would have been the most medically responsible thing.
Yeah, especially once the growth plates have fused. You know? So I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just with better oversight medically, like that could have been prevented. Whereas these people just
Yeah.
wanted like to be completely
They
don't
want it
like
to be
just
removed.
don't-
They don't want it to be improved. They want to remove it entirely.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it. They don't want it to be improved, they want it to be removed.
Exactly. Like if they had a problem with these specific instances, they would be arguing in favor of having more oversight. They'd be arguing in favor of maybe having more checks and balances if they want it to be like super safe or whatever the hell. And that's fine. I can get behind that. You know, more
They
checks and
never argue
balances
for
are
that.
fine. Yeah, exactly. They're not in favor of more checks and balances. They're in favor of no checks and balances and no gender affirming care. That's what they're in favor of. They want me to be forced to detransition.
Which is
That
insane.
is
You wouldn't look right.
exactly. I like
You
I
wouldn't
look
look
like
right.
right. I would go back. I would be forced to look like a weird autistic dude again. You know. Then again, I didn't look too bad as a femboy. I guess. I guess I'd have to be a femboy, but eventually I'd die from twink death, and that would suck, and I wouldn't look right anymore.
Twink death.
Dude, I would have to like go to fucking Mexico and buy a bunch of spironolactone and shit. Dude, I would. Oh man.
Right. It's like that's another thing. Trans people are gonna do it regardless. They're gonna get DIY HRT. Like it's been happening. And so like if you really want people to be safe and you care about people not regretting and like having good medical like, care, like if it's gonna happen anyways, you would support.
If she's a feminist, she should understand this concept. This is one of the main arguments that's used for abortion, right? One of the main feminist talking points, and this isn't even the best argument in favor of abortion. I like to break it down to like an ethical sort of argument of, okay, well, we're talking about like terminating a non-sentient being, right? That's usually the line of reasoning I like to go down, is like what makes a human being valuable, right? But the whole feminist argument of bodily autonomy partially also relies on the entire premise of, you have to keep in mind people are also going to be getting illegal abortions. If you illegalize this, if you make this illegal, people aren't going to stop getting abortions. They're going to stop getting legal abortions, which means they're going to get unsafe abortions. That is the entire point. So if you're against people doing this like whatever unsafe shit and regretting it, then you should be in favor of gender affirming care.
Exactly.
Trans people are going to exist whether you like it or not, and you better believe that if I wasn't given access to necessary medical care, I would be doing DIY HRT right now. That is what I would be doing. Exactly. So I would be more at risk, and that would suck, but that's the world that this person is in favor of. But anyways, let's continue.
Through a male puberty and grown tall and strong and hairy with deep voices.
God, if only there was some sort of solution to that. Oh man, if only there was something like that some sort of mechanism in place that would prevent that puberty from occurring.
I have no idea what that could even look like.
I have no idea. If only there was dude, I guess that's just a pipe dream. There's no mechanism in place that could ever exist that would prevent all of those unwanted gender dysphoric changes from happening.
And not passing does seem to be a reason why some eventually detransition, with
Wow, if only there was a solution to that.
Base?
Go figure.
Their dysphoria uncured. Here is an example of someone saying that transition had done almost nothing for his gender.
Okay, what do you think the solution to that is?
Wait,
Do you
I
think
want to
it's
hear what her conclusion is.
yeah, just remove it entirely, or maybe let people transition earlier. Maybe that might actually be the solution there, because then maybe just maybe in this specific example that you have chosen to use, this person would be a lot happier. Their main issue is that they don't pass. If only there was some sort of mechanism that could have been in place that would have allowed them to pass.
Gender dysphoria, he won't ever get to a point when he's okay with his body. He won't ever not look male.
Maybe because she started transitioning too late. Now, personally, this is also an argument in favor of more social support and more gender affirmation for these people as well. Because I'm of the belief that there is nothing wrong with being a non-passing trans woman or a non-passing trans man. There's
Right.
like, your validity as a trans person is not contingent upon whether or not you pass. Now, I believe that people have a right to pass if they want to. But if
Right.
somebody, let's say, doesn't care if they pass or they just identify a certain way, like they're still completely valid, right? This is a trap that a lot of people that have argued in favor of trans issues, myself included, Kalvin included, have fallen into, is like the whole passing is like super important thing. It's only important to the person that wants to pass, or that's the way it should be. I don't care if a trans woman passes or not. She's still a woman in my eyes. The only reason I even take it into consideration is if she cares. But her gender identity is not contingent upon this, right? And you have to keep in mind that a lot of trans people that do pass, or pass in many regards, still see themselves as not passing. I'm
Like
friends
you.
with, yeah. Well, no, I don't really pass. No, because I feel like people in public probably see me as a man, I think. I don't know.
Do people call you she?
Well, only because I like make it really obvious by presenting a certain way, and
Do people call you she?
well, when I ask them to, I think.
Then you pass, Killa.
Well, I don't know. But like I'm friends with Jalen who passes it visually, but she still hasn't done voice training. Right? Or at least I think she passes visually. Like, but she thinks she doesn't pass at all. And I'm like, if you just did voice training, like, nobody would be able to tell. Like, I'm sorry. Like, nobody that doesn't know who you are would be able to tell. Just do voice training and you'll be fine, right? But you're still valid, right? And I've been trying to get her to admit that she's a woman on stream before as well. Cause like, it's like, she's like doing like this weird, like, oh, no, I don't count, even though I apply a different standard to you. Cause like, and it's so frustrating to see. And it's like, this is why I'm like against using like rhetoric that's like based around like entirely like, oh, the validity of somebody is contingent upon whether or not they pass, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyways, that's a side tangent.
No, I mean, also passing sometimes is fully out of your control. You know, even if you
Yeah.
do everything.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And you're still just as valid. Like if I was exactly the same person, but I looked like a 6'4" linebacker, I wouldn't be less of a woman, right? Like that's
my
insane.
argument back in the day when I was like a trans med was usually just that, like, not that non-passing trans people weren't valid, because they obviously are. But just that, like, if you don't do anything to try and pass and then complain about people not gendering you, like random
Yeah.
strangers, that's like, it's a random stranger. Like, they didn't know. And like, you know, that was my criticism, but it still doesn't mean that it's like, God, who am
Yeah.
I? It's people like Chris Chan, even, where it's like, I don't care if that person doesn't pass to y'all. Like, I'm gonna call, and even if Chris Chan does awful things, like, I'm still gonna respect Chris Chan.
Yeah.
People like
Like,
Leah
do we
Thomas,
Yeah.
like, she passes to me, but like people that, like, it's like, you can say Leah Thomas should maybe, like, there's some question about whether she should compete or not, but she's still a woman. That's the thing.
Yeah,
People like this,
exactly. That's not the
you know?
question.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
I've like that's the thing is what you end up with is you have there's also like this notion that like somebody loses pronoun privileges if they do a bad thing, which isn't true.
Which is crazy.
Like for instance, if you take one of those fucking teachers that like molests a 14-year-old student that's like a woman, like nobody starts saying actually he is a man because he has lost pronoun privileges. Women are not molesters. It is physically impossible for a woman to be a bad person. So he has lost she her pronoun privileges and she should be forced to go to men's prison. Like, that's an insane position, right?
Yes.
Now, there are definitely complications with, like, okay, like let's say there's a trans woman who's, like, predatory in some way or has sexually assaulted somebody. Obviously, don't put that person with, like, the general population of cis women, right? No shit, Sherlock. But that's, like, a very niche case. Somebody like me should not be forced to go to fucking men's prison. Like, I'm sorry, but that's fucking terrifying.
Literally.
No thanks. I would get raped in like 2 minutes. It's not even funny. Like
Man.
like even before I started HRT, I would have gotten raped. I'm sorry. I deserve to not have like okay, if I were to go to prison, it would be for something like accidentally committing tax fraud or some shit. I don't fucking know, right?
I've been to jail.
Really?
Yeah, I actually have.
Damn.
And I had to beg them bitches to put me in the women's. I'm gonna be real, like I folded. I went to the I begged. They because all my shit has changed. Right?
Yeah.
So I had to be like my first thought was I was high as fuck off drugs, so I was like, oh fuck, this is a problem.
Yeah.
My second thought though is, oh my god, they're about to take me to the male jail.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. So
I would just be like, don't put me in men's and fucking keep me away from the general pop if you can. Put me with like other queer people or some shit. Like I'm sorry, but like
low-key, though, me like as a trans man, right? Because when you're in jail, like if you're there only a couple days, like it's not like you're taking off your like you don't have to like take off your like clothes in front of the other inmates fully. So like it's like I would honestly be more worried about like a trans woman than myself in the male like jail.
Yeah. No, literally, like that would be terrifying. But I'm sorry, but like I would also be terrified of the women in the women's prison. I'd be scared that they would also sexually assault me. I'd be scared of everybody. Like,
You'd be fine. They're cool. They're just like racist.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a when I went to jail, it was crazy. Like I was this really crazy racist person like named Angelica, and like yeah, she was like literally day and night like coming off meth like screaming about how like black people are like biologically different.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would also depend on the prison. I would just be scared of everybody. Like that's the thing is what these people fail to understand is most trans women are more scared of cis women than cis women are of trans women. Like, that's what she doesn't realize. Like, I'm more scared of other people than other people are of me.
Yeah,
on average.
exactly.
Like, I'm terrified of people in general. Like, I don't know. People scare me. It's like, what if this person, like, hates trans people and then commits a hate crime against me? Like, they could be, like, whatever, like, a regular, like, whatever, 5'7" cisgender woman, and there's, like, a good chance that they, like, I don't know, what if they could do that? They probably could. It doesn't take that much.
My cellmate, she was like, I'm glad I met you, because if I hadn't, I might have been racist against trannies too.
Damn.
I swear to God.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would be terrified of
It is such a nuanced issue. It is such a nuanced issue.
Yeah. Like, I think
abolish
like
prisons. Anyways.
Anyways, that's a side tangent. Let's continue.
On the other hand, they can transition before puberty and end up without enough penile tissue to work with creating the fleshy tube.
Oh, we already talked about this, but again, the solution to that is literally just having them go off hormones for a few months so that they grow more tissue and then getting the surgery. This is an example of medical incompetence based on one individual, not the entire medical institution. You fucking troglodyte. Jesus Christ.
Approximation of a vagina. Jazz Jennings, regardless.
Look at Angel Dust's shorts. I will later. Also, but yes, hello everybody. Welcome to the greatest live show of all time. We're making fun of this weird transphobic lady.
Of
I need to see what she's making. like pro-trans argument. Just keep playing it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Video claiming everything is hunky-dory. His journey has been in the public domain.
His? Does that look like a
at
he,
his
him to
titties,
you?
bruh. That's not a girl. That's not a man. That's not a man. That's a girl.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The only way you could convince me that that's a man is if she were to like, if she were like a cis woman or something, and you're like, oh, but like actually this is like a trans dude or some shit like that. Then it's like, okay, well, you know, good for him. I'm so glad he's, you know, he's early on. He just came out most likely, you know, he's early on his transition. I'm so excited to see what the effects of going on testosterone have. Like, that's the only way you could convince me that this obvious fucking woman is a man. Like, I'm sorry.
And
But like, I'm sorry, but she's like goals. She's got massive mommy milkers, okay? Like, what the fuck?
nobody's going to convince me that that young man has ended up in
She has bigger titties than you fucking loser. She's
Sounds
prettier
so
than you. She
insane.
passes better than you. You fucking moron.
a better
Wait. Hold on. Wait, when she looks... Is that a mustache line I see? Wait. Am I seeing things, or is that like...
T, man. T, that's what T will do to you.
Because it looks like it's like a different color. There's like less... It's like...
It
it's
totally
like...
is.
Yeah, so it's not just me. Dude, wait, she might have gone on T.
I think she might have. I don't think so. I think I was wrong, but it's good.
I have no idea. But like, look, you can see it's definitely I'm not crazy. That's definitely a different color than the rest of her face. Like, okay,
She's fugly.
like, I'm actually, actually, I am one to talk. Never mind. Mine is definitely not as bad as that. Like, mine's not noticeable. And I have better camera quality.
I wish mine was that bad.
Real. Hello, Femyoz. Hello, Pike Ponytails. Hope you're doing well. Hello, John. Just some dude, what? Yeah, literally. It's like... Oh, wait, I thought you were talking about something else. Anyways, where were we going with this? I want to do everyone on my screen.
Including the
even
TERF?
the ugly TERF lady with like 2 chins and like this weird like woman equals adult human female fucking Chris Chan medallion necklace. I'm sorry, but no.
Man, Chris Chan medallion necklace is insane.
Bro, she does it. She kind of looks like the like an... I'm sorry, but like if Chris Chan... I'm sorry, but if Chris Chan and Barbara were to have like an inbred child, and then that inbred child were to live till 60, this is what she would look like. I'm sorry. This is what they would look like. Am I wrong?
No.
Right, exactly.
better place than if he hadn't transitioned at such a young age. He is
What? No, again, this is an issue with the individual surgery. All she had to do was go off of hormones for like 4 months or some shit, grow more tissue so that there's enough to work with, and then go back on hormones and get the surgery. That's like not that complicated.
one of countless cases that I know of that point to a need to find a better way
Maybe she's King Tut's great grandchild. True.
of helping kids like him without leading them to believe that they can be a kind of member of the other sex by taking wrong sex hormones.
What are you wrong sex hormones? What are you saying? You're actually fucking delusional. Wrong sex hormones. She's actually so dumb. She's saying wrong sex hormones. That is fucking wild. Dude, I fucking can't with these people. These people are actually fucking delusional. She's like, yeah, the wrong sex hormones. And she also conflates sex and gender at the same time. She's trying to criticize gender ideology, but she doesn't even understand what that even entails. She's like, oh yeah, so that you can become the other sex. When I refer to myself,
point.
Like, what do you...
For Jennings, at least.
Yeah, like, what? But, like, when I refer to myself as a woman, I'm not even saying I'm a biological female either. Like that's what she fails to understand. Like I'm not talking about a now when you do cross-sex hormones and change your genitalia, you are changing your biological sex to an extent. Like I'm not like a 100% like a biological female, but that's never a proposition I've made.
3/5 of the way there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna end up being more biologically female than male, potentially.
Yes.
I don't like if I were to get bottom surgery. I don't know if I will, but like I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much weight each whatever sex characteristic has. Like, or how much do internal sex organs matter? How much do
have you ever had your chromosomes tested?
No, I mean that is part of my biological sex, but it doesn't matter.
Have you ever had it tested? Have you ever got an internal ultrasound to check what your internal reproductive organs look like?
I don't believe so. Now, again,
me neither.
I mean, to be fair, that's the thing is it could be the case that, okay, yeah, I most likely have XY. I most likely have the male internal sex organs.
I'll never concede that. I always say that because it's like, to me, it's like these people have they'll be like, well, your chromosomes, you have no proof of what my chromosomes look like. I don't know.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's what I say to these people, because the truth is my secondary sex characteristics male, my primary sex characteristics postpartum surgery male. And then what else is happening? It's just,
yeah, what are you measuring?
These people don't even really know what they're talking about when it comes to biological sex. It's a freaking complicated thing. So
yeah, like that's the thing is they fail to understand that sex is bimodal. Like,
yes,
if I were to completely transition, it's most likely that, like, I wouldn't be 100% biologically male, but neither are a lot of intersex people. Like, if there's like an intersex person that's like assigned male at birth, or an intersex person that's assigned female at birth that just stays that for the rest of their life or whatever the hell, like, nobody is like, well, you see, you're actually not a real biological woman, so you have lost pronoun privileges or some shit, right? Like, that'd be insane.
And what's crazy too is that, like, I feel like there's some data out there to say that, like, trans people experience intersex conditions at a higher rate than people who are cis. Like,
which makes sense.
Yes,
which makes
exactly. Sense. Yes. So it's like, you don't, in this population, you don't even know. I've met a lot of
I could literally have XX male syndrome and nobody would have any idea.
Exactly.
You could literally have fucking Swire syndrome and nobody would know.
Exactly. But I need to keep playing this because I want to hear what she's about to argue, because she's making pro-trans arguments right now.
Right? Anyways, yeah, speaking of pro-trans arguments, we gotta continue. We gotta continue. Oh, man.
And mutilating their genitals. I'm calling this video Detransition and Regret, which is also the title of a page.
Did Jazz Jennings detransition and regret transitioning?
Do you see how we only have one research article?
Dude, it's like
peer reviewed.
Probably not.
No.
It's one research article. She cites an
no
article
DUI.
and then personal stories, articles, and blogs.
And
that's what she
cited.
cited.
Dono link. See,
it's like,
that's crazy.
Damn, that one non-peer-reviewed study sure is crazy. Let me proceed to show you this incredible other study that actually is an analysis of 23 different peer-reviewed studies that all say the same thing.
Oh. Yeah, no, the meta, that's what I've always that is what I want these people to do. I've said this for like months now. It's like, with the day that one of these people can pull up a recent meta-analysis of statistics on detransition and show me that more than like a single-digit percentage.
But
of trans people.
Calvin, what about John Money? What about John Money?
Like, it's and the John Money thing doesn't even prove a point, because
but John Money is but he's like the CEO of transgenderism. What do you mean? He invented transgenderism. What do you mean?
I don't even know. These people are deluded.
Right? Oh my god.
Is David Money even alive?
I don't know. Dude, I can't with these people. I can't. I actually can't.
He's died in Towson, Maryland.
Oh no, the CEO of transgenderism has died. Who's gonna take up the mantle?
He died in the same town I went to jail in. Fun fact.
Damn, that's That's the funniest thing about the John Money case is that it literally proves that people should be able to choose, and that when somebody is forced to be a gender they don't identify with, that causes harm. That's all it proves.
Yes.
Anyways, let's continue.
At peaktrans.org. There isn't that much on it.
Oh god, she has a website.
Actually, it's mostly links to personal accounts and a few videos.
Of course it's mostly links to personal accounts. Color me shocked.
When I created the page, I hope to have a lot more sources of support for those considering detransition, but
yeah, your incredible studies with N values of 1 or 2 or maybe 3.
And they're all from the Detrans subreddit.
Yeah, they're all from the Detrans subreddit.
Giving Lisa Lippman.
Oh my god.
there really doesn't seem to be very much out there, at least not in the English language. In fact, the only source I know of now in English that has a website still up is post-trans.com, which is for...
Wow, I wonder why you don't have any sources. Isn't that crazy how me...
Now?
Yeah, isn't it crazy how me and Nominal Naomi can have entire research documents supporting our arguments filled with nothing but meta-analyses of fucking peer-reviewed fucking sources and shit, and like, oh yeah, here's like an analysis of like 27 different fucking scientific studies that have been done separately by completely separate groups of people that all magically come to the same conclusion somehow miraculously. Isn't that crazy? And then it's like, oh yeah, hello guys, it is me, you see, I am the owner of the peaktrans.org website and YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna be going over the Jennings case with an N value of 1, and there's some other anecdotes and personal experiences and stories that people have written on the r/Detrans subreddit. It's like, who do you, what, surely if this was up for debate, surely you would have like an equal amount of peer-reviewed research, right? But no.
Female detransitioners. They have produced a booklet which is translated in...
Of course, yep, a booklet, yep, That's definitely on the same level as all of my peer-reviewed studies.
To 6 different languages. Each of them can be downloaded for free in PDF form. Links below. Detransition may sound easy for those of us who've never done it or never even transitioned, but it isn't.
No one is saying it's easy. That's not the proposition. It's much like transitioning, actually. It's a similar process, if you can believe that.
And the reason I know this is because I've listened. All I can do in this video is...
Guys, I've listened. I've listened to people say words. That's the number one way I come to conclusions, is I listen to one detransitioner who became a TERF. That's my source, guys.
Let's give examples of what...
It's like
Anecdotes.
Yeah,
Anecdotes
it's like, if you
empirical
acknowledge the fact that detransitioning is hard, then you should also acknowledge the fact that transitioning is also hard, and that people don't just do it on a fucking whim. People don't detransition on a whim, and people don't transition on a whim. It just doesn't fucking happen. Nobody does this.
What countless people are saying. Here's a few words from Isaac Uncooked. I very much recommend his video.
Oh no, oh god, it's the fucking, oh no. I know who this is, by the way. I saw this dude's video on, about autogynephilia. Dude, he's like, I don't even know if I'm comfortable using he him pronouns, because they're like super dysphoric. They were like MTF, and then they detransitioned, but like they're super dysphoric, and it's like super obvious that they're not actually like they're not really a man. Like it's really fucking obvious. It's like really sad, and they constantly have mental breakdowns publicly on their YouTube channel. It's a really sad fucking thing to watch. I was gonna make a stream or a video talking about them, but like it's just sad. I can't make fun of them. They're like, I just feel sorry for them. So the fact that she's citing one of like the most self-hating, mentally ill people I've ever witnessed on the face of the earth is crazy.
Go to those struggling with detransition.
And, you know, once you have that realization, it doesn't necessarily go away. And then once you detransition, the dysphoria doesn't necessarily go away, right? And that's something you have to work on as well. And then, of course, after you get rid of the trans identity and the dysphoria, then you have other mental health issues you also need to work on. So you're in a really bad place. There's no getting around it. You are in a very deep, dark place.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They are a fairly attractive individual, I can't lie.
That I have been, and that very few people honestly get to. And you might not even realize how difficult it is for you right now. But it's bad. But you can get through it, and you can get healthier, and you can get past it. And I mean totally past the dysphoria. The dysphoria.
I don't know why she's so fucking bad at the audio balancing. Like, I highly doubt, based on what I've witnessed from this person, that this is the original audio. I think Peak Trans is just a fucking retarded YouTuber that doesn't fucking know how to balance audio. I had to turn it way the fuck down.
It affects me less and less. Most days I don't have it at all. Some days it does come back, and some days it comes back very strongly. But once I get through that delusionary period...
There's a good chance that this person is, like, some form of gender fluid.
Right, it's almost like people's dysphoria also, like, fluctuates. Contextually, situationally, like, dysphoria is weird.
Yeah, it is. It's very confusing. Like, I thought I didn't have dysphoria when I blatantly did. It was kind of crazy.
It goes away entirely. Entirely. I'm cured.
Now, unlike a lot of the other pages on my site, I haven't written any kind of introduction or anything from a personal perspective or giving my opinion on that page because, firstly...
Yeah, guys, she would never give her opinion. She would never be biased in the slightest, even though she has to, like, heavily select for anecdotal experiences that are, like, the vast minority of all experiences of people that actually transition. Select for those and only show those. Only show the few minority of instances where everything goes wrong. But guys, I'm not biased, I swear.
When I launched the site at the end of 2017, I didn't know anything about detransition. I had only woken up to what was happening in respect of transgenderism earlier that same year. I was still in a supportive frame of mind, even after I was assaulted by the anti-women activists.
Anti-women activists? Were they advocating against women? Okay, now don't get me wrong.
Remember she said I've never spoken about it?
Yeah, literally. Even though she was literally going out of her way to fucking harass these people. And they were just trying to be left alone and not be recorded. But no, guys, I was actually, you know, if anything, pro-trans back then. Yeah, definitely. Even though I won't fucking play the audio either. Yeah, alright.
Why do you have a detransitioner website if you know nothing about detransition?
Right? Literally. Dude, okay, the whole anti-woman thing as well is fucking hilarious. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I love some good old fucking gender-affirming misogyny, okay? If somebody tells me to fucking go to the kitchen and make them a sandwich, instantly, I feel butterflies in my stomach, okay? But, you know, I don't argue that that's how you should treat women, though. I argue the opposite. It's like, don't treat anybody except for me and other people that have, like, degradation kinks, okay? Only do that for people that have degradation kinks, okay? Nobody else, okay? Nobody else. She is old and postmenopausal and pushing 70. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, chat. You're cute. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Femyoz, questions are important. I'm sorry for ignoring chat. Why do homophobic Christians criticize it as a sin? When they get on their knees for a shirtless man with long hair every morning and night and dedicate their life for this man sounds pretty gay. True.
Christians watching cringe like Christian content is like 90% of my day. I love it.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, that's like what Demon Mama does now. That's like
no, don't tell me that. No, I'm gonna have to stop doing it.
No, but like she does it well.
No, me and Demon Mama.
You have beef?
Oh yeah. Long standing.
Oh no. Was it from when you were a trans med though?
No, it's when I was friends with Riley. I'm still friends with Riley.
Oh shit. Damn.
And her throuple, they accused Riley of being a pedo-jacketer because they were making arguments that could be used by pedophiles. They were absolutely doing that.
Oh shit.
Demon Mama's funny and everything. But like I'm glad she's doing that. And she tried to get my friend Riley, who by the way is a trans woman, who by the way got me out of trans medicalism, who by the way is a really fucking amazing person who does like a ton of pro bono. Like she's a non-profit lawyer, like she does a fuck ton of not pro bono work for communities. She worked at Free State Justice here. I can't say that now because she no longer works there, but like, because they got an internet beef, Demon Mama tried to get Riley, first of all, she tried to prevent her from getting licensed by the bar to practice law.
That's fucked.
She tried to get her fired from her job at a pro-LGBT organization that provides legal services to LGBT people. Like, it's actually fucked, yeah.
Dude, if I can, because I've DM'd Demon Mama a few times. We're pretty chill, you know. We don't have any beef or anything.
She called me a disingenuous concern troll, a has-been at 21 whose entire online presence, like, it's just crazy.
Bro, that's just so, but like it's the opposite though. Like, you're not disingenuous. Like, dude, even when you were like a trans medicalist, and I didn't know that you would change. Like, it's like, okay, like I believe that Kalvin isn't like Blair White, where he's like disingenuously like saying this shit, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's like these are genuine beliefs, and I can tell. Like, you were never a grifter. Like, being wrong does not equal being a grifter.
Exactly. Not to say Demon Mama, like, I think there's like bigger fish to fry out in the world. You know what I mean? Like, she's probably a very like kind person in person, you know. But
She
that
seems
was
nice. But yeah, that's fucked up.
Chronically online to try and cancel a person that is doing like LGBT advocacy, like in the community, like because you guys got into internet beef. You know, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, that's
when you guys
cringe. Yeah.
generally have the same like super
Views.
progressive beliefs. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Is I argue against things like the fucking you know, purity testing and woke scolding and shit. Dude, there's been somebody that's like, dude, I've been called a white supremacist Nazi by people that
are you?
I'm not. I don't like. It's because I said that it's physically possible to be interpersonally racist to anybody, including a white person. Like, that is my position.
Yeah.
that makes me a Nazi, apparently.
Or at least to just make like low blows about someone's race. You can do that to white people. You know, you don't even have to call it racism. You could just call it like prejudice or low blows. Like, race is never something that's really relevant and like just kind of like a prejudicial like judgment or like comment that it's not relevant. You know, it shouldn't
Also,
be no matter what race.
Thank you, Alexi X for the $3. You beautiful fucking bastard. Stick it to the transphobe. We love to see it. That is true. We probably should continue. And thank you for the money.
Oh, yeah.
I very much appreciate any and all donations. And if you want to join the tip train, feel free to use the Streamlabs link in the pin message and in the description below. Anyways, let's continue. But yeah, all Streamlabs donations I read immediately, basically, as soon as I see them. But yeah, let's continue.
In September of 2017. Obviously, the behaviour of the wider community of woman haters soon cured me.
Woman haters. This is the other thing I wanted to touch on. Yeah, fuck women. I hate them all. Dude, women are property. There's actually, dude, what gender ideology preaches isn't actually, okay, people often conflate gender ideology with anti-gender ideology, okay? You know, here's the thing about woke gender ideology, okay? We don't believe that there's infinite genders, okay? We believe that there's only one gender, which is men, okay? Women are property, all right? That's what we believe.
Of that. But I had genuinely believed up until 2017 that everybody who medically transitioned did so because they'd spent their entire lives being unhappy, being the sex they were.
I mean, that's what I did, but not all trans people necessarily have to go through that. Like,
and it hadn't occurred to me that any such people, having achieved what I imagined had been a lifelong dream, would want to detransition. And it was a revelation to me to find.
Wow, it's almost like the majority of trans people don't do that. Isn't that crazy? How it's like the vast minority? But you're not going to mention that.
Find all these YouTube videos from people who were doing so. And the second reason I haven't written anything from me on that page.
Confirmation bias.
Yeah, literally. It's like
that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, literally. Let me ignore all 5 trillion examples of transitioning being a good thing, and let me find the 3 examples of detransitioners existing. You know, it's like, wow, crazy. Oh no, there's a huge epidemic of detransitioners, all 4 of them. Oh no.
Who gave grandma a phone and a YouTube channel?
Literally.
Was because I didn't want to weaponize the trauma that some had clearly gone through when they realized that transitioning hadn't worked for them. but I don't care anymore about being accused of weaponizing. Meet Luca.
So I did transition as a minor. You know, I was a teenager who had a lot of mental health issues and had been sexually exploited and hated
You know
my
what's
body.
crazy?
What?
I got asked to be on this episode.
Wait, really?
Yes,
Wait,
but
and you didn't?
because I couldn't go. I am in school full time. I work. Like I couldn't go out to LA to film.
That's so sad. I would have to like figure something out because I would abso-fucking-lutely go on there. Like, holy shit.
I don't know. I couldn't. Like imagine it's like me and Blair White across from each other. I can't.
Dude,
No.
I would kill for that. I would be like, oh, yo, what's up, Blair White? Nice plastic surgery
history.
I got there. Anyways, I've been on HRT for like 9 months, and you know, I'm starting to pass without plastic surgery. Fun fact, just to put it out there, you know, not to not to shit on you or anything, but you know, just putting it out there, just no, not that I would, not that I would flex on you or anything, but like, you know, as anyways, let's continue.
And it ended with me kind of finding spaces where that was twisted into, no, you're just a boy in the wrong body. And
Who was telling you that?
I think this
ended with
person's
me,
like a paid actor, honestly, by TERF
Right?
organizations. Because their way, if you've watched this whole episode, anybody, like, this person is, like, way too, like, rehearsed in the gender critical shit. Like, they are so well versed in gender critical shit.
That's, yeah, I don't know. They could be brainwashed. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely, like, a financial incentive to be, like, a detransitioner that's like, oh, guys, I detransitioned because I was transitioning because the woke mob and the Jewish cabal made me trans, and they convinced me that I was in the wrong body when I was 4 years old, and then I started taking hormones and got bottom surgery when I was 6, and it's like, all right, okay, sure.
having my first ever medical intervention being a double mastectomy at 16 before any hormones, before anything else. And because of transitioning at such a young age, in the past 6 months, I have watched my body fall apart and waste away in front of me.
Fall apart and waste away. I don't know if that's true.
You're literally sitting here. You're fucking fine.
Yeah, you're not in a
Come on.
fucking wheelchair. Your arms and
Literally.
legs work fine. Maybe what you're experiencing is some sort of dysphoria.
Offensive. How offensive to say that. You know what I mean? Like, you were so lucky to be able-bodied. Anyways, that's a struggle.
Literally.
You know, I have constant joint pain. I've watched my muscle mass waste away. I've watched my vocal cords hurt. I don't know if I'll ever be able to carry a child.
Calvin, do
Maybe
your
your
vocal cords
muscle
hurt?
mass, your muscle mass must have wasted away. Maybe because you went off of tea that was making you build muscle. No, I don't have any of those fucking symptoms. I've never
Yeah,
had anything like
interesting.
that ever.
Interesting. Because I mean, I used to have tea in my system, and I basically did the same thing as going off tea by going on estrogen, and I don't have any joint pains. Yeah, there's a little bit of loss in muscle. I used to be able to do like 70 push-ups in a row. I can do like 11 now.
It's almost like, here, I have an alternative hypothesis.
Okay,
It might be crazy. It might be crazy, right?
okay.
It's
Go
almost
on.
like there's a lot of evidence that there's a connection between like somatic issues and like stress, like extreme stress, and maybe, right? Maybe you weren't actually trans ever, or transitioning wasn't the right thing for you. And being trans caused you, for whatever reason, a fuck ton of stress. Therefore, when you were transitioning, you experienced somatic stress in your body
Yeah,
because,
literally.
like, it doesn't mean the hormones did that to you. There's no evidence to suggest.
Yeah, literally.
Because every trans person is. Then why is it that every person who's happy being trans is like, I feel amazing, better than fucking ever? You know, like.
Literally. No, literally. That's the thing, though, is when it comes to like the whole like detransitioning thing, like you have to look at it as like a trolley problem, right? It's like, okay, you can have, let's say it like for every 99 trans people, or sorry, for every 100 trans people, one of them is unhappy with their transition and 99 of them are happy. That's pretty close to the reality of the matter, right? It's going to be the case that you shouldn't fuck over the 99 people on behalf of the one person. That is illogical, right? Like if let's say there's like a lever, right? There's like a train, okay? It's about to run over 99 people that are tied to the train tracks, but you can press a lever and make the train run over one other person tied to the train tracks. You press the fucking lever if you're a reasonable person. That's what you do. You don't be like, well, actually,
Hey,
the 99 people don't matter. We just ignore them and just focus on the one person. We wouldn't want to force this ideology onto them or force the train onto these people. Look at all of this one singular person on the train tracks. Think about them and their family. And it's like, what about the other 99?
in the trolley problem, you'd pull the lever.
Yes.
You
I
wanna
would
explain?
if... What?
The utilitarian choice is associated with psychopathy.
Well, I don't care. Okay? If that's like a rare psychopath W, okay? I don't give a shit. All right? I would press the fucking lever because that's the most logical decision to make. Okay? It serves the most utility. Like, it's just objectively better. Like, you're doing an objective good there by minimizing the amount of harm. Why should 99 people have to suffer instead of the one person? That's illogical. It's mathematically fucking illogical. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. When it's 99 and 1, then it's more.
I mean, that's like that's basically the transition. Like that's like the ratio of transitioners versus detransitioners, right? That's why that's the number.
Yeah.
It makes it obvious. Now, granted, if there was like let's say 94 people that it's about to run over, but you could make it run over 90 people, I would still pull the lever because that's mathematically more logical. Now, that might be a little bit more controversial because people are emotionally minded. I'm not. I'm right about everything for a reason, notoriously. But like let's say I was like wrong about stuff like a normal person, then maybe I wouldn't pull the lever. But you know, when it's 99 and 1, it's like even emotionally it's obvious, right? Even on like an emotional level, it makes sense intuitively, right? I don't know.
Sometimes
I think it does.
It's a complicated problem.
Maybe I underestimate other people's intuition. Anyways, also, why the fuck is somebody spamming in chat? Time for them to get timed out for a day. Put user in timeout, 24 hours. Come back in a day. Don't spam. It's very cringe. Very cringe. Okay, anyways. Also, I forgot to start a poll. Have you liked the stream yet? Question mark. Yes. No, I will go do that now. The two options, the two genders. Yes and no, but also yes, I'm going to do that now. It's really the best poll of all time. Anyways. Let's see here. Where were we? Oh, right. We were watching a video about detransition and regret. Let's continue.
The evidence we have suggests that the best way to figure out if gender dysphoria persists into adulthood is to let them grow up.
Source? Do you have a source for this, or is this just made up? Because it seems to be the case that you minimize the suicide rate and maximize human happiness if you put them on puberty blockers if they have gender dysphoria or if they're gender incongruent, right?
Because a lot of these kids will grow out of it, and many of them will just grow up and end up being gay or gender nonconforming.
What proportion of them? Do you have like a number? What?
It's like, is there any way to actually prove that? Is there any way? None of the evidence supports what these people say either. So
yeah, exactly.
It's just...
It says the complete opposite. Source is I made it the fuck up. Exactly. Literally.
And you know what? Even for the people who might like say that there's a political bias in like research, and say like maybe research like will tend to be conducted by and like be presented in a way that's like pro-trans, I still think that even if that bias was eliminated, like you would still have an overwhelming majority of people being happy with transitioning.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it
doesn't change the statistics, right? Like it's gonna be the case that like let's say there's a bias because like I've heard of the argument of well you see we shouldn't trust what science says because the science used to say that black people were inferior and advocate in favor of eugenics or whatever the hell. But you can look at the methodology. Like they weren't using methodologically rigorous
Yes, that is the
studies.
biggest thing is the methodology, because that's where these TERF studies are so bad. Is that's where
Yeah,
they
exactly.
fall
Oh,
short.
guys, look at this study I conducted. It has an N value of 2. Here are 2 detransitioners that say they regret transitioning, guys. So
Even an
transitioning
N
must be
value-
bad.
Even an N value of 30. It's bad. It's bad. You know. I actually am kind of friends with this one professor at York University in Canada, and he's actually doing a huge detransition study, with like 1,000+ participants,
Yeah.
and they are not having the effects that these TERFs would think is going to be the case. You know, that's not what they
Exactly.
are finding.
Most
So
detransitioners are very similar to trans people in that detransitioning is a very similar process to transitioning. That's what they don't understand is when people detransition most of the time, they're going through the same thing as trans people. And generally it's going to be the case that they're not transphobic as a result of it. There's a reason that the number of detransitioners that speak out against trans issues are so fucking far and few in between, and that most detransitioners aren't anti-trans and are like, yeah, people have the right to transition. It was the wrong decision for me, but I understand that like me making the wrong decision does not negate other people's bodily autonomy or the medical consensus, right? Like they understand that they're in the vast minority.
right.
But yeah, no, these people are unironically fucking deranged. I can't fucking stand these people.
With accounts like that, and there are so many,
So many, like 3, 4 maybe, 5 if you're really lucky.
I feel it's more important to raise awareness that transitioning often doesn't work and often makes
How often? At a statistically significant rate? Because if that was the case, why haven't we
No.
seen any studies?
Right.
Also, can a mod perma ban the person spamming in chat they're ban evading?
Another
people-
thing too is like, a lot of times I feel like, these detransitioners.
Oh, I just got a donation. 1 sec. Thank you, Rome Sharuda, for the $3. You beautiful fucking bastard. Even in cases where they, quote, grow up to be gay, unquote, how do you know that that's not the option, parentheses, gay twink, they had to settle for and will still have body dysmorphia? I assume you mean gender dysphoria? Or do you mean body dysmorphia? Either way, what were you saying, Calvin? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I was just gonna say, like, at the end of the day, like a lot of these, I would say the vast majority of people that are regretting their being trans are people that probably didn't even go on hormone, or didn't
Yeah,
even,
literally.
you know, like.
Guys, I was groomed by the woke mob, parentheses, I went on HRT for half a month.
Yeah, no, literally. Or I socially transition, had people call me they, them.
Oh my god, dude, it took me almost 7 months to grow my hair back out again. I can't believe it. My life is ruined.
My life is ruined forever.
I got a buzz cut and now I have to wait for my hair to grow. And people think that I'm transgender when I'm not. No.
And not to discredit like the like people who are detrans and like still pro-trans and like really do feel like they've been harmed.
Yeah.
Like that's valid, you know?
Yeah,
I don't want to
exactly.
like come across like we're being disingenuous to those people,
Right.
but like there are a lot, again, according to my like this person that I know, their study, like a lot of detrans people actually are not anti-trans.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Exactly. I think that's like a, and that's interesting because what you end up with is, you have like a small minority of detransitioners that are against it, that are like super vocal about it. And I believe it's because there's like some sort of financial incentive there, right? Like
Yeah.
that's like the main reason behind it is
Or
you have people like Ollie London that were like, he was never genuinely trans. He was transitioning and using his body as like a mechanism through which he wanted to get attention. That's why he was also quote unquote transracial. Also, thank you, Alexi X, for the additional $3, you beautiful fucking bastard. Grandma is trying to fight a movement that doesn't exist. The Anti-Woman Act has nothing to do with trans people specifically. What was she on about? Also, not all trans people have trauma, so once again, what is she talking about? I guess she's arguing with the voices inside of her head. That's what seems to be the case here. She doesn't actually have any real arguments. So, that's my take on it. I don't know. she's fucking delusional. I mean, I
The
don't.
thing about TERFs is they make these really insane leaps in logic. Like,
Yeah,
there's a case to be made that there are like strange, disproportionate rates of AFAB people who in the past 10 years have come out as transgender. There's some statistics in the NIH, like over in England, that shows that increase. That's
Correct.
disproportionate.
correct. But
Does
how many of
that
them are going on
mean-
hormones? How many of them are
Does
going
that-
on hormones first? of all?
Right. Those are just people that were referred for some kind of gender services, including therapy. So that's the first
Exactly.
piece, right? The second piece is that even, like, I would argue that, like, this is not an issue that's even close to solved by banning transitioning or
Exactly.
banning children transitioning or telling
Like,
people
a
they
lot
shouldn't
of
be
these people,
trans.
like a lot of these AFAB people, what they end up with, like what they end up doing is they're referred to some sort of gender clinic. It's gonna be like oftentimes the case that they're not even like identifying as like trans masc or as a man. Like a lot of times, like it's just like, oh yeah, I'm non-binary. I use they them pronouns, and like
No, I think they are.
like, yeah,
I
and don't
think
get me
they
wrong.
are.
Like don't get me wrong. Like don't get me wrong. Like we love our they thematrons over here on the Femyoz YouTube channel. Okay, like but there's a clear difference between like someone going by they them pronouns and then being like, actually this isn't for me, versus like, oh yeah, I was actually on HRT for like 5 years because I was groomed by the woke mob, and my singing voice has been ruined, and I was transitioning to a man because people convinced me to do it. Like that's a very different situation, right?
Yeah, and these people, the truth is that like it's not that people are being convinced to transition like as it's a conscious process. Like
Right.
if there is, and I don't know if there is. I really there needs to be more research into
It seems to be the case that it's the opposite. People are more likely to be convinced not to transition.
I think right that, but also I feel like if we try to convince people not to transition, then there's also the chance that they're going to double down and do it anyways, even if they're not ready. So if you have increased social support for trans people in general, these people can feel comfortable socially transitioning first, and like then it's easier for them to feel out the waters of being trans because they're being affirmed by everybody in their daily life, and they're like understanding what it's like to be a trans person. Like then they can have that social support and then go into transitioning if that's what is right for them.
Exactly.
So it's like by being so anti-trans, you're actually reinforcing this issue that you think is happening. That's my
Literally.
thing of these TERFs. If you decrease social support for trans people, people will actually go and attempt to get hormones and surgeries because it helps them pass, and they feel like they will have that social support that they want. So it's like,
yeah, it's literally like when conservatives will argue against abortion and contraceptives, and it's like you realize you're just increasing abortions and also unsafe abortions. But like
yes.
you increase
Yes.
the amount of abortions people get if you ban contraceptives. So if you hate abortion, you're doing yourself a disservice there. And also you're increasing the amount of women that end up harming themselves through unsafe, illegal abortions if you illegalize abortion. You're not decreasing abortions in doing so. Like, that's what these people don't understand.
Exactly.
But anyways,
Yeah,
let's
keep playing.
continue.
Will feel worse than they did before. I'd originally called my page just Detransitioning, but I later renamed it Detransition and Regret in order to include accounts of people who regretted transitioning but didn't detransition. And this isn't to imply that everyone who detransitions regrets transitioning in the first place.
Okay, that's a fair point. I'm glad she brings this up because yes, the vast majority of detransitioners do not actually regret transitioning. The reason they're detransitioning is due to like social stigma and not being accepted, and for their own safety or lack of resources / necessary medical care, right? Like that's like the main like those are like the main reasons, right?
I have heard detransitioned people say they needed to do it to find out it wasn't the right choice for them. I've heard some say that they don't regret the irreversible changes to their appearance, and they still suffer from the dysphoria, the dysmorphia, or whatever psychological issue they had that made them want to escape their sex bodies in the first place. Lisa Marciano wrote an article in Quillette in which she says, The detransitioners I see in my practice are all female and they are all in their early 20s.
Guys, somebody wrote something in an article, so it must be true. This is the best source of information. Fuck
Yeah, I've
peer-reviewed
heard that-
literature.
I've heard that name before. Is she a TERF too? Hold on.
Probably. I mean, TERFs just cite other TERFs as evidence. Guys, there's this other TERF that wrote this in an article, so it must be true.
Wait, let's see.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like I have heard that name.
I have no
anyways.
fucking clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
At the time
no,
they became
she
trans.
is.
Of course it's another
She's
TERF.
a Jungian. She's a Jungian analyst.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, of course they always cite other TERFs. It's like, but guys, did you know that transitioning is bad? Look at this J.K. Rowling tweet. J.K. Rowling said that trans women are men, so and that she's just in favor of recognizing sex. So this is actually true, guys, because another TERF said it. So I mean, there's no way of refuting that. What do you like? You know.
Identified many were suffering from complex social and mental health issues. Transition often not only failed to address these issues, but at times exacerbated them or added new issues.
Crazy how she never cites anything with like numbers and shit. Isn't that just wild?
These young women often became derailed from educational or vocational goals during their period of trans-identification. The young women with whom I have worked became trans-identified during adolescence. They frequently did so in the context of significant family dysfunction or complex psychosocial issues. Sexual assault and sexual harassment were common precursors. A majority had an eating disorder at the time they became trans-identified. Since detransitioning, most now understand themselves to be butch lesbians.
Okay, so oh, do you want to start?
Yeah, hold on. So, okay, let's like break this down. Go back to the wait, I can't see it now. Trying to read this.
Okay.
quote.
Okay, wait, hold on. It moved ahead. So if we go back,
The young
so
women
talking
whom
about
I
the
have
butch.
worked became trans identified during the minute that they use the word name trans identified, it's already like just during
Yeah,
adolescence.
the clearly unbiased, reliable source of information. Obviously. Oh god. No, I can't.
Oh wait, I can't see. Hold on. I don't know why. Like every time you like exit like off of the thing, I can't like see the quote.
Oh, my bad. It's
You're
because
good,
I'm
you're good.
switching back and forth to your I'm switching to your face cam is why.
It frequently did so in the context of significant family dysfunction or complex psychosocial issues. So again, these are issues of correlation and causation, right? It doesn't. Is it really that they are trans because of complex psychosocial issues, or they are having psychosocial issues because they are trans and their family are people who are not supportive of LGBT people, therefore they're scared to come out and therefore having these complex issues. Sexual assault and sexual harassment were common precursors. Once again, I mean, that's like a post hoc fallacy, right? Just because something happened first doesn't mean that it caused something else. I'm not trying to say that. Even in a TERF study from Lisa Littman, there was actually, I think, they did not find that they used the Adverse Childhood Experiences scale, and they did not find it to be significantly correlated. That was actually not found to be the case. Also, the majority had an eating disorder at the time because they became trans-identified. Again, it's the post hoc fallacy. I'm not trying to say that those things maybe don't go hand in hand, but lots of trans people have eating disorders because it's one way of controlling your body when you feel like you need to in the transitioning way, but you can't do that. So what's another way you can control your body in a way that it presents very similarly to an eating disorder? Since detransitioning, most now understand themselves to be butch lesbians. I mean, maybe because that's the closest you can get to being like a masculine presenting, like trans masculine person without having to be trans. Again, I'm not trying to say that there's this phenomenon is not real, but this is an alternative.
The vast minority.
This is a very anti-trans way to word this, and I could word this exact presentation in a much more pro-trans way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or even in just like a neutral way. Like you have to keep in mind that like I would argue that like you have to keep in mind like understanding themselves to be butch lesbians. You have to take into account, why do people detransition? And the vast majority of the time, it is not because they regret their transition or because they believe that they made a mistake in their identity or whatever. That is the vast minority of detransitioners, which is also, and detransitioners broadly are a vast minority of people that have transitioned. So we're talking about a fraction of a fraction right here, right? So the fact that this isn't being taken into account just goes to show that the leaps in logic these people are willing to do, so long as it allows them to push their delusional narrative, right?
Yeah. I think that there honestly maybe is some validity to this, like, I don't want to even say ROGD because I think that's again a very TERF centric term, but some sort of like socio-cognitive like belief in being trans that maybe is not the root of like being trans, or whatever mechanism creates gender incongruence maybe in the root of what's happening here if these people end up going back to being women and they're happy. To me, it
Sure.
seems to be the case that this might be a phenomenon, but it's again something that needs to be more well studied by
Oh yeah, for sure.
unbiased researchers. There
Correct.
are unbiased researchers out there who are studying it, but the reason they don't get quoted is because the effect size isn't as big as these people present it to be. It's because they're still pro-trans. You can say this is a thing without being anti-trans, because that's the root of this ideology, is anti-trans, and they use confirmation bias to pick and cherry pick any sort of examples that you can use to
Well,
to
I
paint these
believe
trans.
I believe that the like a neutral approach and like a scientifically based approach will lead you to a pro-trans position.
It always
what,
does.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what these people don't understand. That's what they fail to recognize. Hell, I used to be anti-trans until I looked at research and was like, oh, well shit, I guess I was wrong. Guess I'll change my position. See, that was the thing is for a while it's like, well, you're either born as a biological male or a biological female, okay? There is no third gender, and if you're talking about like these other things, okay, these are personality traits, okay? So I don't understand why you can't just be a feminine man or a masculine woman. So like I didn't know really what I was talking about. And then as soon as I looked at the actual research, like when I was told, oh, actually, maybe you want to do a little bit of research, here's some studies. And I'm like, yeah, well, they're probably lying about the study, so I'm going to read the study to prove them wrong. But the study proved me wrong. So I'm like, okay, well, shit, I'm going to look at some other studies. And oh, shit, they're saying the same thing. And I look at some more studies and it's like, oh, fuck, I was wrong about this. So I changed my position because that's the intellectually honest thing to do.
Yes. Well, these people are not intellectually honest.
No, literally. They go out of their way to lie.
Yes, they do. And it's unfortunate because the truth is it's been at the expense of like detransitioners. Like,
right?
Detransitioners are having their struggle weaponized by people that hate trans people. It's
Literally.
like, why don't we advocate for increased access to therapy? Why don't we like promote increased access to social support and social transition so people can do that before they make permanent decisions? Why don't we do all these other things? You know why they don't advocate for it? It's because they don't like trans people fundamentally.
Exactly.
That's the baseline belief, and that's a problem.
Well, their baseline belief is that we're degenerate. That's their belief. That is their presuppositional / axiomatic principle that grounds their entire worldview. Everything else is based on that presuppositional.
And they never start. Have you ever noticed these people never start at being interested in the detransition phenomenon?
Oh, correct.
It starts with like thinking trans women are men and trans women are hurting
they're
women.
invading women's spaces.
And
it always starts with that.
Yes, and they discover this detransition stuff, and it's a really easy thing to weaponize. It never starts with an actual interest in taking care of detransitioners, which is sad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's all disingenuous virtue signaling. I mean, that's what these people do.
It's a fucked up kind of convoluted virtue signal. It's really, really bad and really cringe more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Transitioning, most now understand themselves to be butch lesbians. All of these young women report that their experience of gender dysphoria had been sincerely felt. According to their recollections, they were as truly trans as anyone. In some cases, they received a formal diagnosis of gender dysphoria from mental health clinicians. Others attended informed consent clinics through which they were able to access testosterone after only a brief
And that,
discussion.
I'm sorry, I do think that's a problem. We shouldn't, sorry, let me rephrase. For adults, no. You can go on, you should be able to do whatever you want as an adult.
Yeah.
But for kids, for people who are trying to get on testosterone more specific, I don't actually really care about, I do care about MTF people, obviously, but this isn't like an issue with MTF AMAB people. And that's when medical transition, like, sooner is more dire, like for AMAB people.
I think, so I'm going to push back on this a little bit. I think that, well, in terms of the medical treatment, I'm fine with like the whole puberty blockers. As a fundamental concept though, I believe that choosing to transition is just as much of a decision as choosing not to transition. Cis people make this decision all of the time without even realizing it. And the consequences are just as drastic. You have to keep in mind that the only truly neutral position here is puberty blockers. That is the only position that is gender neutral or sex neutral, right? Anything else is a massive decision. It's just cis people generally don't have to think about it because they're cis. So they just go through the default puberty and hoo-ha, the whole world works. You don't have to think about the decision because it's obvious. And for a lot of trans people, it's also obvious.
I want to make it really, I just want to say, like, I transitioned as a minor. Obviously, it was a great choice for me. I am pro all day long. That's what I'm going to advocate, pro children transitioning. But I do think that, like, it's, and there's a whole nother conversation to be had about accessibility of, like, mental health care, right? Like, that's a problem and should be fixed as well.
Also,
but I think that 6 months. Oh, okay. Give him a shout out.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Rome Sharuda, for the $2, you beautiful fucking bastard. Post reference to the studies that I'm convinced. Oh wait, fuck. I misread. Wait, hold on. I'm illiterate. Sorry. Let me try again. Post reference to the studies that convinced you that trans men /women are men /women as they claimed in Discord. Please. Wait. That convinced you trans. Well, they would have been a long time ago. So that this is research I did when I was like in my early teen years, right? I didn't save them. I was just looking at studies myself to see, okay, well, what does this say? And then it's like, oh, I do more research, and then it's like, ah, shit, I guess I'm wrong about that. So I don't have them on hand, but
studies?
No, well, the specific ones that convinced me I was wrong.
Oh, I'm sure you could find them and put them in the description.
I wouldn't remember what they are though. Like if there could be one of them that's in my research document right now. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, put the research document.
Yeah. Anyways, you were saying something.
I don't think it's gonna hurt people to go to gender therapy for 6 months before, if we made that more accessible, like to have kids under 18 go to gender therapy for 6 months before they medically transition. Like,
well, I think they should have access to puberty blockers right away, because you have to keep in mind.
Right, I agree with that.
Okay,
that's different. I agree with that.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah,
because that's not irreversible. Irreversible. So you end up with you ensure that the correct decision is being made, right?
Yes, that's how I feel about it. Yeah. I just think when it comes to like testosterone specifically, if we're having this like phenomenon happen, right, with like for whatever reason, like a lot of A5 people are like going on T and like regretting it and then having these permanent issues, like
a statistically very small proportion, but yes, it does happen.
We just don't know. We just don't know though, is the thing. We kind of do. We have some idea. I think it's not even close to most. But I think that there's like
it's the vast minority. It's like 1 out of 100.
I think there needs to be more research on like the past 5 to 10 years though, because there's not enough good detransition studies. You know, there's not. That's just the truth. Like the unbiased detransition studies in the past 5 to 10 years with the cohort of like early 20s, like AFAB people. That is like thing that's happening right now. I'm just saying, like, I'm just advocating for like going to therapy and like going to a therapist that's like gender affirming therapists who like will also just work through it with you, help
Yeah.
you work through your other problems.
So let me go to my trans
You can
research
pull it
doc.
up. Let me see.
Let me see. Do I have
Because like I'm
Detransition And
not
Regret?
like it needs to be like end of like 1,000. Like these are big studies that are gonna come out soon. They just aren't out yet. But
Scamming
0.6.
of gender affirming care, medical transition, mental health studies of people that are supported in their. I don't know if I have one that's specific to detransition, but it shouldn't be hard to find. So I'm just gonna look up detransition rates 2020. Yeah, sure. Actually. Okay, interesting. So it's saying, okay, here's one that says it's unknown. Okay.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. I don't know though, but look, you need to be careful with who these people cite because like Zucker and some of them are kind of they're kind of like turfy. Like I'm arguing in favor of you. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
some
Absolutely.
Archives of
Absolutely.
Sexual Behavior is not the best journal. This is kind of a turfy journal. It's it's run by like some people who are not the most credible.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
The Archives of Sexual Behavior published Lisa Littman, essentially. Hold on, let me just.
Okay.
I agree. I kind of agree in the sense of like we just don't know, and also our definition of detrans, like, is this people that like we need a specific age cohort?
Yeah.
Of, like,
We also need like a distinction between like detransitioners broadly and detransitioners who detransition on the basis of not actually being trans, because there is a distinction to be made there.
yes.
So that's what I'm in favor of.
These are kind of the like charts that I look at
Hold on.
when I kind of like talk about this phenomena.
Okay. So if we go over here, seems to be the case that okay.
Like you just see this wild spike. It kind of
Okay,
went
interesting.
down. Right. See how
Yeah, it's gone down. It's like the left-handedness graph.
It's
right, where
strange. Yes, it's just strange. It's something that like I'm not. TERFs will take this and be like, "Don't let AFAB people transition." I take this and say, well, "Let's do some research and like really good, strong methodological research with like unbiased, like a big group of researchers like who fall on different ends of the spectrum of like beliefs, like." And figure out like what it is. That's what I come to. And I'd say in the meantime, like just have like try to increase accessibility to social support and like gender affirming therapy.
Correct. And obviously hormone blockers is always good for just
playing
it safe.
Hormone block.
I think that's like the best way of doing this, because like if you want to play it safe and you don't want to like have people make permanent decisions or whatever the hell. I guess that's fine, even though cis people do it all the time. Fine, whatever. You want to apply a different standard? Okay, we'll play it safe and we'll do hormone blockers if that's the best course of action, right?
Yes, 100%.
Anyways,
not to get into the weeds, but yeah,
we have been pause Andying a little bit.
This person's gonna motherfucking like go on off the rails and say that trans people are like shouldn't be allowed to medically transition and kids shouldn't ever be. It's just so delusional.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like it's not grounded in any actual reality. Anyways, let's continue.
With a health provider. Some people who do regret transitioning don't detransition, and there are various reasons for that. Scott Nugent is an example. I don't expect people who are set on transitioning to want to hear from people who detransition, but people generally...
No, I'm willing to hear from them, but again, if we're talking about something that's statistically insignificant, then all you have is anecdotes, and anecdotes don't create scientific consenses. Fuck, I'm retarded. You get the point.
I'll tell you, these people are not capable of that. They're not capable of any scientific shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're anti-science.
Yes, they are.
Really need.
They're not even really feminists either. It's like they're anti. Like, it's like they're willing to side with Nazis as long as the Nazis also hate trans people. Also, thank you,
right?
XLXIX for the additional $1. First off, I would like to clarify that I will be donating $1 every time I feel I need to say something. My name is pronounced Alexi. I'm so sorry for getting it wrong. Also, the fact that 50%, also the fact that 50% of marriages end in divorce doesn't mean marriages should be banned. This is true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. The regret rate for divorce seems to be a lot higher than the regret rate for transition. So
Right?
isn't that interesting how that works? Yet you wouldn't argue that marriage is a bad thing. It's just okay. Now I would argue that the regret rate of marriage is high enough to the extent where I don't think that children should be getting married. That's like a fucking Matt Walsh position, right? Yeah, I think that 16 is when they're the most fertile. When they're 16, that's when they're the most breedable,
That's some
scientifically speaking.
pedophilic shit.
Right?
You're a pedophile, like, literally.
No, literally, dude, Matt Walsh is definitely a pedo. I'm sorry. Fucking
100%.
I don't care if like there's like that in of itself is enough evidence. Seethen Cope, I don't care. He's a Nazi, a pedophile. Like, dude, I'm not gonna be charitable to him. I'm sorry. All right, let's continue. Bro's male voice just came out. Yeah, it did. You got a fucking problem with that, bro? Dude, I can switch back and forth. I can be like, I can do an uwu.
That was
voice.
you?
Yeah.
That was insane. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was looking at.
I can switch back and forth. I can literally do that.
Trans women always like can do that crazy shit. It's like y'all should be voice
Right?
actors.
Right?
Oh my god.
Literally. It's like I mean that was like there's a reason my Ben Shapiro impression is so good. Hypothetically, if I were to shove a dildo up my wet ass P word, I would feel very good and shout daddy. That's my Ben Shapiro impression. It's pretty accurate, I think.
That was really good.
Hell yeah. Too deep for Benny Boy. That's true. That's true. Oh my god. Anyways, let's continue.
Need to be better informed, and ideally
Holy shit, is that Ben Shapiro? You better believe it is.
want to see an end to this extraordinary phenomenon.
This is kind of scary because I only realized this a couple of days ago, and I've only come out to a few people. I'm a guy.
Based?
No offense, I would run so far away from this group.
Why?
Oh my
They're
god,
just
because
chilling.
these are people that hate me.
Oh.
I'll support
feel like-
them, love them.
I feel like they okay, some of them would probably hate me because I'm also kind of an edgelord, but like I feel like the vast majority of them would be cool with me. I would vouch for you. I'd be like, Calvin has changed. He's based now. He's cool. I would vouch. Because I feel like they'd get along with me. Because like they'd probably like think that like me being edgy is like annoying or whatever. But then they'd be like, I don't know. When it comes to like these types of people though, and I'm using that term very loosely, when it comes to like very obviously like queer / trans people, I don't know what it is, but like a lot of them will just bully me, but like not in a bad way. They'll just bully me. It's very easy for them. I don't know why. It's like my chat does this all the time too. They're like, I don't know. It's like once they figure out what buttons to push, it's like, fuck you. CJ Wolf in chat says what? Did I stutter? If hypothetically I were a femboy, would you shove every inch up my little femme butt? That is such a Ben Shapiro thing to say, too. I will say. I mean, it sounds like him. I'm just saying. You know, the hypothetically. All right, let's continue. Hello, Femyoz. Hello, Pike Ponytails. Hope you're doing well. Anyways, let's continue.
I use he, they pronouns, and I'm gonna go by Theo.
W Theo, let's go. Based Theo. Dude, I hope my man Theo is doing well. I hope his transition's going well. I hope that his family is supportive. I just hope he's doing well in general.
I told my mom today, and I have to go home every day and be called my dead name and have she/her pronouns used every time I go home.
What?
And no one
It's, like,
realizes
so
how
crazy.
hurtful.
Parents that do that, it's like, what are we? You were literally, even let's say in the worst case scenario that your kid is like been influenced or whatever, right? is doing that, right? Is disrespecting them, the name they want to go by and the pronouns they want you to use. Does that really help? Or does that make them double
it makes
down?
it worse. It makes it
and
worse.
not talk about their feelings with you.
It just ruins a perfectly other, like a relationship that, for all, I mean, it's probably not a perfectly fine relationship, but like, it's just an unnecessary way of engaging with that. Like, you're not gonna, like, if it's the case that, because you're right, it's more likely that they'll double down, right? So if it's the case that you can't groom a trans kid into being cis, why can't you groom a cis kid into being trans? It doesn't make sense. Why does it work in one way but not the other? Oh yeah, my parents everyone convinced me I'm trans, but when it comes to trans people that are surrounded by transphobes, it's like, why is nobody convincing them that they're cis? I mean, granted, with some maybe more gender fluid people, it might work. Also, thank you for the additional $1. Hold on, I hope I pronounce your name correctly this time. Alexi. My lesson for that is, don't be your child's first bully. Trans people have enough on their plate with gender dysphoria and shit like that. True. Like, it's already difficult enough to be trans. Like, you don't need to add to the fucking list of reasons for us to fucking 41% ourselves. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy, like, how people don't apply the same standard in both directions. Somebody asks, how would you make a child? I would adopt. Too many parents try to control kids, but that doesn't work. Exactly. It doesn't. If Femyoz, if someone's MTF and not passing at all, are there permanent facial cosmetic surgeries? Oh, are there permanent facial cosmetic surgeries to appear more feminine? Yeah, but generally they're really expensive, and surgery is scary. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, be forced to go through surgery, right? Like, that shouldn't be a prerequisite. Not to mention, like, there are people that are, like, super dysphoric about things like their height and, like, their shoulder width, etc., and, like, the structure of their body, right? A lot of that shit's not gonna be, like, something you can just change, right? But yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever get FFS. I might. It's possible. Because it would be a very light surgery for me. It's like, whatever. I'd probably get, like, whatever, it wouldn't be like anything you'd be able to notice unless you already know who I am, I guess. But anyways, let's continue.
Have she, her pronouns used every time I go home, and no one realizes how hurtful it is. It's like a slap in the face. And I dyed my hair last night so I could feel more masculine, and I was afraid I was gonna get thrown out of the house. We love you, Theo.
W Theo. I mean, by TERF logic, but applied in the opposite direction, wouldn't his mom be grooming him into being cis? Like, I don't understand why they don't see it in the other direction. Like, it's so weird to me.
Why the cheering? If she follows through on her announcement, she will probably at the very least be taking cross-sex hormones for the rest of her life. And
okay, let's say that happens. Okay, why do I give a shit? That's statistically more likely to have a positive outcome than a negative one. So that's a net positive on average. So that sounds like a good thing. If he goes on hormones and that makes him happier, then he has every right to do that.
These have potentially serious consequences for her health. That's not something to celebrate.
What are the serious consequences for his health? Can you please explain?
As that person just said, my pronouns are he, him, and my name is Theo, or he, they.
Yeah, he, they. So, like, we don't know if he's gonna go on HRT or whatever the fuck, and if he does, good for him. Congratulations, Theo. I hope you're doing well. And, yeah, anyways. British people sound so dumb when they speak. At this point, I'm starting to believe it, you know? I mean, I guess we are taking a very specific example of a British person who just so happens to be very dumb, but I don't know, man. Maybe, you know, maybe eugenics against British people is actually good, you know? Maybe it's actually not a bad thing. Maybe that the scientific racist people had a point, but about the wrong category of people. If they had applied it to, like, British people and TERFs, they might have had a point, you know?
Celebrate. If she has the double mastectomy, she will never be able to breastfeed. Now, this may not be...
Maybe he doesn't want to breastfeed. How many cis men want to breastfeed? How many trans men want to breastfeed? Probably not very many. Maybe
Y'all are all for breastfeeding till it's nominal Naomi.
Right? I was literally just about to bring up nominal Naomi. Dude, as soon as me or nominal Naomi start breastfeeding, well, I've never breastfed, but like, I would be down. Like, I would do that. I don't know. If I gained the ability to do that, like, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. Dude, I'll do that shit. Literally producing milk out of my nipples, that's fucking crazy. That's so cool, man. Like, I want to be able to do that shit. The fuck? Stop pausing after every word, yo. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Xenophobia is good if it's with British people, true.
That bothers her at all. But she's a teenager. She's still at school. She's far too young to make a decision about that.
If only there was some sort of mechanism that would allow you to make a decision later in life. Like something that would, block puberty, perhaps. I don't know. Wouldn't that be crazy?
I won't even talk about genital surgery. Goodness knows there are enough accounts of the catastrophic effect that can have if it doesn't work out. Just enter Richie Herons or Scott Nugent's name in the YouTube search function. They've both done several interviews.
Yeah, guys, imagine using peer-reviewed studies when you could use the fucking YouTube search function. Like, that would be like if I cited...
Third wave now in the Detrans subreddit.
This would be equivalent to me citing something Vosh said in an argument. Like, that's what this is. It's the same fucking thing. Could you imagine if every time I was in a debate and someone's like, yeah, but like, what about like the detransitioners? Ah, well, you see, according to Vosh, like, that's what this is. It's like, you don't cite a YouTuber. Like, okay, it's one thing if you're like, oh, I think you should check out this YouTuber because, like, I think they have some good things to say. But, like, if that's your only source is, like, oh, here's a YouTuber. Oh, here's, like, a singular person that said one thing one time. Like, it's nothing. Oh, God.
I would like to know who this woman here is. She's wearing a lanyard with ID. Is she a teacher?
Why do you want to know?
Certainly many teachers and others who work with kids are indulging this ideology, and that's...
Indulging this ideology? What ideology? The ideology that trans people exist and that they're valid? So basically just observing objective reality in front of you? That doesn't seem to be indoctrination. That's just objective reality. If you're against indoctrination, you should be in favor of banning religious schools instead. Because, which... Honestly, I think that would be based, okay? I think that would be based. I don't think that people should be indoctrinated into their a delusional worldview on the basis of whether or not it's what their parents believe, right? I don't know. I mean, religious is just... religions are basically just large cults. Let's be real.
Yes.
A scandal, in my opinion. Here's a particularly poignant comment posted by a Canadian woman on the Detransition subreddit.
Of course, your source is the Detrans subreddit.
Yes!
Other TERFs.
I knew you pulled it out.
Dude, I didn't even watch... I promise we did not pre-watch this, okay? We did not pre-watch this.
I know these people so fucking well. It's insane.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Here's what the post says. People should have been transphobic. Wait, hold on. Wait, let me play some music, okay? I need some background music. You probably won't be able to hear it, Kalvin, because of how screen sharing works. But my audience will be able to hear it, okay? Is it gonna be here? Stream background music. Here we go. Hold on. Okay, guys. Here we go.
TJ.
All right. Hold on, let's go. All right. Okay, let's read this out loud, okay, chat? People should have been transphobic.
Yes, they
No one should have affirmed me. People should have thought I was crazy for thinking I was a man. Trans people should have been honest with me that I wasn't like them. I had no documented...
To be fair, we did. We did try to say that.
Yeah.
Or at least I did, man.
Yeah, literally. Literally. There were plenty of trans people.
There were lots of trans medicalists out there, man.
Dude, like, trans medicalism was literally the dominant fucking ideology that was supposedly in favor of trans... Dude, that was the thing, that was the majority of trans discourse, was trans meds versus, everybody else, basically. Like
not
that
to
was
say
the
that's
discourse.
good, but we were there.
Yeah.
We were saying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, literally. So this is like a
Okay.
terrible fucking. Oh god.
I
Let's
had
continue.
no
I had
documented
no documented dysphoria. What the fuck was I doing? And why did everyone let me do this to myself? End rant.
Okay.
Okay, so first of
So,
all, did
like,
you go
that's
on
the thing-
hormones? Did they go on hormones? Or did they
Also,
just think
like,
that they
this-
were a man?
This is incongruent with like the normal argument like TERFs have, where they say like, oh well, a bunch of detransitioners did have dysphoria.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
this is you were just weren't trans. Like if you like or if you didn't have it, sorry, document like incongruence, like any sort of like discernible, like meaningful, like
Yeah, if you
discontinuity
don't
between.
Yeah, if you don't
right.
identify as a gender that you weren't assigned at birth, there's no
like that's your
incongruence there.
fault.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, HRT femboys are a thing, but like, that's a very specific niche sort of, and that's more of like a. This is why I like to make a categorical distinction between sex dysphoria and gender dysphoria. I believe that
Yeah.
sex dysphoria is like the root cause of a lot of gender dysphoria. I believe
Yeah.
that it's going to be the case that that's similar to how gender is derived from sex. I believe that gender
Often.
dysphoria is derived from some form of sex dysphoria. Like I
Yeah.
believe that like they definitely go hand in hand, but like there's like a correlation there. But
I think this is how I was actually reading a Reddit post the other day that kind of talked about this because it was somebody making the argument on the clinical psychology subreddit. Basically the type of shit that I was kind of always afraid of with trans men. It was an argument to basically say like if gender is a social construct, right? If we're
Yeah.
gonna support this like progressive idea that gender is socially constructed, like then why does it make sense? Why do trans people like it was kind of like a cis person like confused who was a clinical psychologist, like why then are we seeing this? Like it doesn't make sense. So my thought about it is that like transsexual people are people with like the sex dysphoria, like it's
Yeah.
that's derived from like the sexual sign at birth, whereas like gender dysphoria is more related to like the social elements of gender, which are socially constructed that are reinforced by this association
Correct.
between the sex and gender. So yeah,
Correct.
that's where like I think that like even if you got rid of gender in society, you would still have people with sex
Yeah.
dysphoria, and I feel like that's kind of
it would be
where
it'd be to a lesser extent because like the gender aspect obviously
Yeah,
magnifies it,
it would.
but
Mhm.
but yeah, no, like sex dysphoria would still exist. Now there would be people like me that would I probably wouldn't have figured it out on my own. I'd be like, why do I feel like shit all the time? I have no idea. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
truly a mystery. I wonder why I hate the fact that I'm becoming more masculine. Wasn't this supposed to be a good thing? I don't know, but like I still would have had dysphoria.
Right.
So anyways, let's continue.
No one should have affirmed me. People should have thought I was crazy for thinking I was a man. Trans people should have been honest with me that I wasn't like them. I had no documented dysphoria. What the F was I doing and why?
Okay, but did this person go on HRT? That's the real question. Because that's a huge fucking distinction to make. If all this person did was identify as a man and use he, him pronouns for a month, then I don't think that this is even, like, this doesn't support any argument, really.
Did everyone let me do this to myself? In the subsequent conversation that she had with other posters, it emerged that she had undiagnosed autism at the time, and she started thinking.
Okay, well, I have diagnosed autism, and I would rather you not fucking infantilize me, because I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you in every fucking regard, I'm more physically attractive than you, I'm a better person than you, I'm objectively better than you, you disgusting, subhuman, worthless loser with a fucking disgusting, ugly double chin neck flap.
And she's
The kind of neck flap I would expect to see with Boogie 29888. All right, you look, dude. It's literally fucking Chris Chan and Barbara. And their inbred child would look like this after 60 years. I'm sorry, but like, am I wrong? I'm not. But yeah, dear Lord, it's like It's like she's so far down the intellectual ladder compared to me that she has no right to infantilize autistic people. Bitch, autistic people are smarter than you. We're able to make better decisions than you. If anybody should be talking down to anybody else, it should be me to you, not the other way around, because you're inferior. Also, thank you, Alexi, I think I got it right, for the additional $1. Wait, what is this woman talking about? Her source is a Reddit user, and don't they have to go through therapy before transition? People can't read, damn. Also, I have autism, and it doesn't have a look. Not all people with autism are dumb, damn. Exactly. No, you are spot on here. Like, I would argue that the majority of autistic people are significantly more intelligent than this thing, whatever this thing is. I have trouble calling it a human because, like, that would imply there's like some level of sentience, which maybe there is, like similar to if you agree that like a rodent is sentient, then okay, it might be a sentient creature, but like, I mean, I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch, right? TERFs are its, yeah, exactly. The specimen, yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. I mean, TERFs are like cockroaches. They're like a disease. I think conservatism in general is like a disease that needs to be eradicated.
Conservatism, religiosity, like these are.
I mean,
all
yeah,
diseases.
these are all like diseases. Exactly. It's a fucking disease. It needs to be eradicated. TERFs are a bacteria. That's an insult to bacteria. Some bacteria is good. They are scary, ugly, and hateful. True. They're like, I mean, these people are subhuman. I don't care if that's like too mean or whatever. Like, seethe and cope. Like, I'm just objectively correct here. Anyways, let's continue.
That maybe the reason she was so unhappy and always felt different was because she was transgender. It's a familiar story. Of course, this is all anecdotal, and that won't satisfy
Yes, you are correct. It is all anecdotal. Astute observation.
those on the other side of this conflict whose only argument is that detransitioning is rare, by which
it objectively is. Like, it just doesn't happen very often. It's like statistically very infrequent. Like, it's 1 out of 100. So yes, it is rare objectively.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just saying I do have some studies for you to look at. They're not like anti-children transitioning studies. They're like, I went and looked at like the most recent stuff that's been published.
Yeah, you just send them to me so I can add them to my research document and take notes.
I would look at it. Yeah, look them over first. You don't want to give people things to weaponize and they don't understand the study. Though,
oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't cite
yeah.
anything until I've taken notes, usually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, continue.
mean that so far as they know, only a tiny percentage of people who transition go on to detransition. So we get comments like this one. Why would anyone listen to detransitioners? They are
Okay, I don't like this framing. Obviously, whether or not somebody is a detransitioner is not what dictates whether or not they're worth listening to. They can still make correct arguments, but it's not on the basis of their own personal experience, right? Which I think is what they're trying to argue, but like, this is easy for somebody like this to weaponize, right?
aren't an example of anything except the fact that medicine isn't perfect. Why don't you listen to the thousands of happy transgender people?
Overall, this is a correct point.
But you expect us to listen to trans-identifying people who are less than 1% of the population because some 99% of us are reconciled with being the sex we are. So by the same token...
Wait, when a trans woman refers to herself as a woman, do you think she's saying she's a biological female? Because that's not the proposition I've ever made. You know, that's it. It seems to be the case that this is like a made-up argument, actually. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that this bitch is crazy.
Same. Unironically, same.
I think she's making really wild arguments. I think that this is just like she's cocking herself in a bunch. She's not like making any sense. I'm confused because she'll make like a pro-trans. These people like will inadvertently make like pro-trans arguments.
Well,
there's no consistency. There's no consistency in their arguments.
Absolutely. Like their main strategy here is to throw a bunch of shit at the wall and hope that some of it sticks. That's what they do. That's their entire strategy here.
Right. No, exactly. It's like trying to like I don't know, it seems to be like more than anything else, these people convince me that like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people come to detransition. There's a lot of different ways people come to transition, and there's no real certainty to predict what characteristics will make someone successful in transition versus not.
Yeah.
Having dysphoria doesn't always mean transition's right for you, but sometimes having no dysphoria and transition is right for you. So this
Also,
is
I just got a donation. Thank you. Is it? Fuck. How do I pronounce it? I'm so bad at remembering names. Alexi. I think I got that right again. Thank you, Alexi, for the additional $1. Holy shit. This fucking lady is insane. Non-cis people make up more than 20% of the population. What the fuck does she mean? Look at the 1940 statistic, like it was from this year. Yeah, I mean that is objectively true. Like there are, like, it's not like a, again, and she'll claim, oh well, it's a social contagion, but in reality it's like that would be like arguing that left-handedness is a social contagion, because if you look at the left-handedness graph before it evened out, it spiked in the same way, right? Like that's just objective reality, right? It's not because more people were left-handed, it was more people were openly left-handed. And that's what people like this don't understand. So, anyways, let's continue this video.
And why should we care about you? Why should we change our language or anything else for you? Then there's this. New study on gender-affirming care regret just dropped, and the numbers are staggering in showing how little regret there is. This one has 6 out of 1989 patients detransitioning. This is a highly misleading comment.
How is it misleading?
Is there any evidence?
Have a counter study, please. Show us a counter study.
Right. The commenter
let's see if
here
you might pull
refers
up
to gender-affirming care, but the study he links to is just about genital surgery, which, according to the
regret after
Okay,
gender-affirming
okay.
surgery.
Yeah, that's fine.
How little regret there is. Okay, this is a useful study, but maybe not for this argument, because
Yeah.
I would cite, like, if it were me, I would cite a study about HRT, not gender-affirming surgery. Gender-affirming surgery usually only happens to people that already have HRT, right? So, like, this isn't gender-affirming care broadly. Though this is a useful study.
I would just
best
say, yeah,
evidence
no,
I
I
can
agree. I mean,
Yeah.
find something like only 25% of gender identifying people get. Gender affirming care can, of course, include puberty blockers, breast binders on girls and young women, and wrong sex
No.
hormones as well.
That's not gender.
Yeah,
A
this
binder?
that's like something you could get at like a fucking store. Like what?
Literally, it's just people wear binders sometimes to cosplay, so.
Yeah. That's not
No,
I mean
I
it is
think,
it can be gender affirming, but like that's not, like, you're not prescribed binders. That's not how it works.
yeah, no, and I also just kind of feel like, I feel like we should conceptualize gender affirming care as like what it is, which is for like probably HRT, top surgery, and bottom surgery, a combination of
Yeah.
like one or more of those things. You know, that's,
Yeah.
there's something to be said about like maybe comparing like detransition rates of like people that were just socially transitioning, or like a common, like the baseline is social transition, but then also like gender affirming care detransition is like a different thing. I would like to see that.
I think there's like a distinction to be made between like medical detransition and social detransition, right? Because like if you're medically detransitioning, the first thing to do is look at why. Also, thank you, Rome Sharuda, for the $2. I think she has the right to define what passes as a woman to her. If she's appealing to the standards of sex, she should be able to use her language accordingly. Not saying that to invalidate the entire gender as a category, though. I think, wait, hold on. Let me think about that. What passes to a woman? Oh, you mean like by her own standards, she should be able to make that determination, right? Like if like there's like a trans woman, she should be able to identify the fact that it's a quote unquote not a real woman, right? I assume is what you mean by that. In which case, yes, I agree. They can't adhere to their own standards. You are correct about that. She has no sex, though. This is true. Like,
Do you think they
why
put those propaganda posters up like around the UK? That'd be insane. Can you imagine walking down the street and you see a propaganda poster for like gender critical ideology? That'd be insane.
Dude, I would grab it. I'd fucking throw
I would
it
take
in a
so
fire.
many pictures. I'd take so many pictures with it. I'd put it on my
Dude,
Instagram.
Dude, I would get a fucking dude, I would grab it, okay? I would I would start a bonfire. I'd record myself throwing it in a fire, and stomping on it. I would drench it in lighter fluid, and then I'd take the remains and I'd flush them down the toilet. That'd be very entertaining. I can't lie. All right, we gotta finish this video. Maybe, I don't know if we're gonna finish it. We might not have time. I don't know. It's getting a little bit late.
As the surgery, or instead of. The study he links to, as well as being only about surgery, only covers a 5-year period between 2016 and 2021. But
wait, how do you know it's a dude, or whatever, or sorry, a trans woman? Oh, is it because everyone that argues in favor of trans people is trans? Is Hunter Avalon secretly a trans man and therefore a woman, according to her? Is
he might be.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's
might
secretly
be.
trans. He might be. I mean, I don't know. He used to look pretty twinkish, so
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean,
Conspiracy.
dude, the Hunter Avalon conspiracy goes hard.
Ben Shapiro transvestigation is crazy though.
Dude,
That's my favorite one.
Oh hell yeah! Dude, I mean, he's short. He's got
He's
a high
5'6".
Okay, normally I don't like to make fun of people's voices, but like,
And if we, yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not a fan of like. Remember when you used to do the tranny voice? It's like, okay, maybe that's not the best thing to do, but that's what Ben Shapiro sounds like. I can't lie. He has the tranny voice. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Am I wrong though?
Roll the clip. She ain't say that. Roll the clip.
I said nothing.
I need the cutoff button for you, the one that H3 has.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna get canceled. Oh god. Alright, let's continue.
regret often starts later than that. Walt Heyer, for example, lived as Laura Jensen for some 8 years before loudly proclaiming his regret and starting to detransition. With regard to knowing the true extent of regret, that study is pretty useless. Oh, and one particularly bad argument I keep hearing is that,
as opposed to the very useful studies that you've provided thus far,
that there is a higher rate of regret
not
for
one, like-
other
yeah. Guys, did you know that according to this Reddit post, there was this one detransitioner that didn't have gender dysphoria, and that there's no evidence of them actually medically transitioning. But guys, this is definitely an argument about detransition and regret. Guys, what's that? That it's not enough evidence? Well, here's some more anecdotes. Now the N value is 3 instead of 2. Don't worry, guys. Guys, I swear, guys, I'm definitely not just pulling shit out of my ass, my asshole. I'm not pulling shit out of my arse,
I
okay?
would love that.
Alright. There's just too many examples that I can't show you them all. That's the issue here.
There's too many. There's too many.
There's
I
so
can't
many
even-
studies. There's so many studies that support my argument that I just can't choose. I can't cite all of them. So I've selected the best ones that I think are the most reliable, all 0 of them, and I've decided that there's because again there's just too many. There's too many.
procedures, whether cosmetic, like boob jobs or whatever, or even some
Don't cis women also get boob jobs? Are you against cis women getting boob jobs? Is that bad? Because that is gender affirming care for cis people, basically. I mean, I'm not like, am I wrong? No, I'm
There's
objectively.
there's an interesting argument there with that. There's a whole like another video.
Cis women get gender affirming care all the fucking time to make themselves look more feminine. Like that's
What about
something that they do. They get boob jobs.
Cis boys that have gynecomastia that get like surgery.
Yeah, literally.
So
There are instances in which I think there are instances I don't remember what the specific condition is, but there are cis men that go on spironolactone simply because like they're like that's like the best. It's not because they're trans, it's because they need it. So it's like if you're trying to take away this medical care, you're screwing over you're screwing over cis people inadvertently, but people like this don't care. She has a pride flag in the back. Yeah, I don't know why. She's not a very prideful person. She's like a very lonely, depressing.
He's prideful about being a TERF. Look at the medallion.
That's true. She has like the TERF equivalent of the Sonichu medallion. I can't get over that. It's true. It's the Sonichu medallion for TERFs. She just wears it everywhere, dude. Dude, I'm sorry, but like, if you wear that shit in public, like, you deserve to be assaulted. I'm sorry, like, call me crazy, but like, I mean, come on, you're asking to get punched in the face. It would be like if somebody had like a fucking medallion, but instead of a transphobic message, it said "I hate N-words," and then like they get surprised when they get beat up by a black person. It's like, wow, I wonder why. I can't possibly imagine why someone would have a problem with that. It's like, okay. And guess what? The person that would attack the racist person in that example would be in the right. They would be correct in doing so. They'd be based. The only argument against it would be self-preservation. Like, oh, I don't want you to go to prison, so that's why I wouldn't want you to do it. But like in terms of like how it affects the person being attacked, it's like, no, that's fucking based. Anyways, let's continue.
Sometimes for those done for genuine medical reasons. Now, I really don't know what bearing they think that has on anything. What is the point of comparing regret about other procedures? It doesn't make one better or worse than another. The truth.
What do you mean? Yeah, yes, it objectively does. Regret is one of the determining factors. If you're talking about regret and detransition, then yeah, the rate of regret is going to be like the most important fucking variable. You fucking moron. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, regret doesn't matter.
People cannot make a consistent argument.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like regret,
it's not...
regret doesn't matter, even though that's the entire basis of this fucking argument. It's like,
yeah,
it's like if regret doesn't matter, then you should be in favor of people doing whatever they want. Well, like, what are you talking about? I think that regret can matter, right? Like if the majority of people were to regret it, let's say like 51% regretted it, 50% or 49% didn't regret it, then it's like, okay, yeah, like if a study came out that like proved that or some shit, like I'd reconsider my position, obviously, right? But like that just doesn't exist.
Right.
This says we do not know how many people regret their transition. We don't know how many.
No, but we have some idea, right? We have some idea. It is not close to being the majority. It's not even a 10th. It's like a 100th. Roughly.
Detransition. One of the huge criticisms made of the Gender Identity Development Service at the Tavistock Clinic here in London was the lack of follow-up data. They simply didn't collect it, and this seems to be fairly typical of what's been happening.
As opposed to the follow-up data that you've demonstrated and shown, of course. That being Reddit posts from the r/dtrans subreddit. Well, but Kalvin, what about the r/dtrans subreddit, the best source of information? What do you mean?
It's the best place to pull your participants from, right?
I get all of my opinions from Reddit. That's actually why I became an atheist, because, dude, as soon as I saw that one dude tip his fedora, I was like, I was never the same. Because, Reddit is the best source of information.
Dude, the crazy thing is just like, if I'm trying to make a study on trans people, right, or even detransitioners, like the detrans subreddit might be the last place I went. Because anybody who spends any amount of time on that subreddit knows it's biased. There's no doubt. There's no shadow of doubt.
Guys, I have a counter study. It's on Egg IRL.
It's on Egg IRL. Literally.
Oh my god.
And I mean, if we did that though, they'd be so mad about it.
True.
It's like,
but it's the same thing.
Yes,
like
exactly.
if that's what she's gonna cite, if that's her level of intellectual rigor, it's like first of all, I'm gonna fucking blow her out of the water with actual studies. But secondly, in the moment, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, here's some information I got from fucking Egg IRL. Source r/redneck engineering.
What's wild too is that like they've gotten more dubious with it, where like in the most recent like Littman ROGD study, they were like, oh, we pulled from a bunch of places. But if you actually like really look into the text, it's like, oh, we got them from these 5 subreddits, but 75% came from r/detrans, and like you didn't do anything different.
Guys, I used multiple subreddits, okay? 4 of them were pro-trans, 3 of them were anti-trans, and out of so there are like 3 posts from the fucking pro-trans ones, and then 50 from the detrans. So clearly,
Yeah.
there's more detrans ones. You know,
Right,
you know,
it's painted exactly like that. It is.
it's so dumb. These people are like anti-science.
They are.
Source r/trans. True. All right, let's continue. Oh my god.
happening around the world. Even Wikipedia, which is completely in the hands of the gender cult, its page
The gender cult. The gender cult, as opposed to the gender critical cult. Okay. Okay. The gender cult.
on detransition currently tells us that formal studies of detransition have been few in number, of disputed quality, frequency estimates for detransition, and desistance vary greatly.
Okay, this is an argument for doing more studies, which I'm in favor of. So what's your point? That there need to be more studies? Because I would agree with that.
We haven't
But
even
that's-
seen one study.
Yeah, like if she's making this argument in a vacuum, like, oh, there need to be more studies. It's like, yeah, I agree with
Is this
that, right?
screenshot from Wikipedia?
Yeah,
Look
she's
at it.
she's reading Wikipedia right now.
Source, just trust me.
Sources just trust. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The number of detransitioners is unknown, with estimates generally ranging from less than 1% to as many as 8%.
That's still the vast minority. So
It's still
at most,
single-digit percentage.
yeah, it's like there's nowhere, like even the most anti-trans study can't get a double-digit percentage, which is wild. So the 8% most likely comes from people that are like anti-trans, right? That are trying to argue that it's like statistically significant enough. Also, thank you for the additional $1. Also, why isn't it showing up on my feed? Wait, wait, hold on, wait. I don't know why it's not showing up on my feed. Hold on, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over to the fucking Streamlabs, okay? Alright. Hold on, wait. Oh, I know why that's... Okay, never mind. Okay. Streamlabs.com. Okay. Let me go over here and go to dashboard, because my Streamlabs is fucking lagging. It's so annoying. Okay, let me go over here and read the donation. Let's see here. Tip history. Thank you for the $1. Alexi. Wait, the gender cult. She has a genderqueer pride flag in the back, but she hates trans people. Also, Wikipedia will ban you if you mess it up. Wikipedia is very reliable, I'd say. I'd say people do undermine Wikipedia as a source, but like, if like you have to misrepresent Wikipedia and it's like, yep, this is my best source of information, it's like, okay, it's just delusional. Why aren't you streaming from the YouTube Shorts tab today? Because I'm probably gonna take clips from this and make it into a video. Most likely. And then I'll link this in like the description of that. Anyways, let's continue.
Studies which give low estimates have been criticised for their serious limitations, such as short follow-up, high or unclear rates of loss to follow-up, reliance on individuals returning to secondary care clinics, reporting transition regret, or seeking reversal procedures.
Yeah, so it sounds like we just need more studies to be conducted, which I'm in favor of.
A study of 100 detransitioners found that only 24% of respondents informed their clinicians that they had detransitioned. So, although there are a few studies, and I've read some of them, and they do provide some useful information about people who detransition.
Hold on, I'm gonna restart my Streamlabs. I hope it doesn't, like, end stream. I'm gonna be really sad if it does. 1 sec. It's, like, lagging. Okay. Hold on. Be right back, chat. It'll take, like, 1 second, okay? Okay, chat, we're back. Sorry. Let's see here. Oops, she died? No, I didn't die. I'm not dead. I'm just chilling, you know? I'm just chilling. Alright, anyways, let's, oh god, we got a lot of shit to go through. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Wait, why is my... Oh, fuck. Wait. Why is my camera not working? What the fuck? Wait. Oh, that's weird. That's not... Oh, I think it's because I have Discord open. Wait, I'm gonna close Discord. And then... Wait. Wait. Why can't it... Hold on. Be right back. I hope the stream isn't completely dead. Oh god. It's actually so annoying. Okay, wait, let me move this over here. Over here. Okay, let me rejoin the call.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Dude, professional YouTuber / streamer, everybody. Ugh, god. I'm actually retarded. Okay. let's try, okay, let's continue. Let's just pretend like nothing happened. Just continue watching.
They cannot answer the question of how many regret their transition and how many subsequently detransition because of the
Well, we know, well, according to what you cited, it seems to be the case that it's somewhere between less than 1% and 8%, so we actually can answer that to an
I
extent.
can't see the stream.
Oh, right. Wait, let me screen share. One sec. Share my screen. Okay. Detransition regret. Okay, go live. Okay. Go here. Okay, there we go. Now we can see it, I think. You can see it now, right? I believe. Okay, good.
the large number who do so without informing their doctors or therapists, or if they do inform them, that information.
Wait, without informing their doctors or therapists?
Okay.
Okay.
Detransitioning.
Well, you should definitely inform them.
Isn't
Yeah,
recorded
there's
and
actually is a
collected and made-
problem.
Yeah, but again, this is just arguing in favor of more
She didn't
studies
actually
being
pull out any
conducted.
studies, you know? Like,
Yeah. Her best source so far is Wikipedia, which doesn't really prove any of the points she's
well,
trying
you're
to make.
jumping to a conclusion. You're saying, well, the
Yeah.
reason that I don't have my studies is because we haven't had the data. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't prove your point. It just proves that we need data for something.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're making an inference from non-existent data. It doesn't. That's stupid.
Exactly. It's just assuming worst case scenario. Well, you didn't prove this specific thing, so you know, it's like, well, how do you think data gets collected? Like,
Right.
just food for thought. Just food for thought. Where do you think the data comes from? Like, if trans people weren't allowed to transition, do you think that there would be more or less scientific data? Less. So your position is the anti-science one, my friend. She's using the lack of evidence as evidence. Yeah, literally. It's like, but can you prove that the God of the Bible doesn't exist? Well, no, but it's an unfalsifiable statement. It's reasonable to conclude that there's not enough evidence to presuppose that he exists. Yeah, but you can't prove that he doesn't exist, so he actually does exist. It's the same line of reasoning that insane people like Christian presuppositionalists will use. Like, this is like, it's deranged.
Made publicly available. One of the first sources I came across was this special report by Reuters, Part 4, entitled
Incredible how there's like no peer-reviewed studies. It's just like, oh, here's like a special report, you know.
The Matter of Regret. Quote, in the world of gender-affirming care, as well as in the broader transgender community, few words cause more discomfort and outright anger than detransition and regret.
Well, no,
That's
it depends
not
on how they're used.
true.
It's just not true.
Right.
Whenever I ever gotten angry over those words existing, it's like, yeah,
Right.
detransitioners exist. Yeah, some people have regrets. That exists.
I support
The argument.
detransitioners.
Yeah, literally. It's not an argument about whether or not they exist. It's an argument about whether or not like they're statistically significant enough to deny millions of people access to necessary medical care. That's the argument.
I think that's just too high level thinking for her. You know, like,
Sorry, I
there's
think I
not...
might need to dumb it down. Hold on, let me go into monkey mode.
No.
That might be on her level.
She might get that one a little more.
Yeah, she'll understand. She speaks monkey.
That's particularly true among medical practitioners in the United States and other countries who provide treatment to rising numbers of minors seeking transition.
Oh no, they give minors necessary medical care? Oh god, the horror.
Report begins with Dr. McKinnon, seriously, who is a trans-identifying assistant professor
Oh,
at Toronto's York
That's
University.
my friend.
W friend? Dude, your
He's
friend
not
made
my,
it into
I
a
wouldn't say he's
TERF
my
video.
friend. He's like an acquaintance, I'd say.
Oh damn.
I was on Zoom with him
damn.
for literally 2 hours the other day.
Real? Oh my
Go back a
God.
little. Let me hear what you said.
Okay, wait.
is a trans-identifying assistant professor at Toronto's York University, and he used to think that regret among detransitioners was a non-issue, but had a change of mind after interviewing detransitioners
That
who
is
she'd found
not true.
online.
So she's just lying here. Oh no.
Like, well, she's misrepresenting his positions. Here, I'll just send you
Okay.
his some articles that he some of the ones that I actually saved. He is author on some of them.
All right. If I make this into a video, I'm gonna like, I'll show them on screen right now and link them in the description. So yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to like.
I don't have time to go through all of them, obviously.
Yeah, we'll do it at a different time.
Yeah. I'll do like an editor's note or something. Because I'm a goated editor.
In forums where people, quote, shared their experiences and found comfort from each other. These forays opened McKinnon's eyes to the online abuse detransitioners receive, not just the usual anti-transgender attacks, but members of the transgender community telling them to shut up and
How many of them are doing that? And is it on the basis of them detransitioning, or is it only towards the detransitioners who try to weaponize their status as detransitioners, as anti-trans propaganda that are getting attacked? Because it seems to be the case that the latter is true. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're a detransitioner like Ollie London and you're like, you're obviously a grifting, sniveling, cowardly piece of shit, it's like, yeah, obviously people are gonna shit on you. It's not because you're a detransitioner, it's because you're weaponizing your status as a detransitioner. The same argument, I would apply the same argument to somebody like, I don't know, Keffels, right? I don't have a problem with Keffels because she's trans. I have a problem with her because she scammed her audience out of $100,000. That's why I have a problem with her. It's not on the basis of her transness, but Keffels will look at valid criticism and be like, well, it's because I'm trans. And she'll weaponize that status. It's literally just the same thing, but in reverse. Oh, you're just attacking me because I'm a detransitioner. No, bitch, nobody is attacking you on the basis of you being a detransitioner. People are attacking you on the basis of your wrong beliefs, or because you're doing something shitty.
even sending death threats. Quote, I can't think of any other examples where you're
Guys, Buttfart79 gave me death threats on Twitter, so the trans woke agenda has gone too far.
not allowed to speak about your own healthcare experiences if you didn't have a good outcome, McKinnon told Reuters. No, of course there isn't. That's because this isn't really about healthcare and doing the best for people.
Yes, it objectively is. That's
maybe
what
not
this
to
is
her.
about. Not to her. Obviously, she doesn't care about that, but I do. So I guess that's the distinction there. But I guess she's projecting her own worldview onto others.
So last year, 2022, McKinnon led a research team and they interviewed 40 detransitioners. Many have said their gender identity remained fluid well after the start of treatment, and a third of them expressed regret about their decision to transition.
Source? What do you have like a peer-reviewed study that demonstrates this though?
I wonder if that's the article like that I have pulled up here. Or one of them. I have two pulled up from that McKinnon was an author on.
Even if even if it was the case that like a third of them regretted it, like this doesn't undermine the other 2/3, so it's still the majority. Like it's still a significant majority of people not regretting it. So it would still maximize utility, even if this was an accurate representation. Wait, what?
Here's the study. Do gender assessments prevent regret in transgender healthcare? A narrative review. This article concludes that there's no evidence that gender assessments can reliably predict or prevent regret better than self-reported gender identity and embodiment goals. This conclusion provides additional support for the informed consent models of care. So that's based.
So it basically just proves her wrong then.
This other article says that to optimize the experiences of people seeking and receiving gender care, a thorough, informed consent process inclusive of individualized care options is recommended. And this comes from exploring the gender care experiences and perspectives of those who just continued their transition or detransitioned in Canada.
So it basically...
where did McKinnon say anything about, like this? She's misrepresenting.
So she's just lying here.
I don't think she can read.
That's true. That's true. She might just be illiterate. That's like the best case scenario for her, is she's illiterate.
Some said they avoided telling their doctors about detransitioning out of embarrassment or shame. Others...
Okay, that's bad if that's happening, but like, this is just an argument in favor of better treatment in general. Like this has nothing to do with being trans. This is just, oh yeah, maybe we should have mechanisms in place that make it easier to communicate with doctors. I don't know. This isn't trans specific.
Said the doctors were ill-equipped to help them with the process. Most often, they talked about how transitioning did not address their mental health problems. The report goes on to say that McKinnon decided to organise a symposium to share the team's findings, and some healthcare providers refused to join. An LGBTQ advocacy group refused to promote the event, and her work was denounced on social media platforms as transphobic. What a surprise.
That is true. That is true. That did happen. But again, that's not like trans people can also be fearful of articles like this coming out because of people like the gender critical crowd.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of like censoring shit or anything. I just
no.
I get the fear, but like if you're on my side of the argument, like don't do that. It's bad optics. It doesn't benefit anybody.
It is
like,
bad optics because then you get people like this coming out with a cut saying like, you know, trans people don't support research, which we do.
Yeah, and it doesn't even. And that's the thing is like it doesn't even take much. It's tantamount to like the conservative on stage with a megaphone in front of 100,000 people who's also on TV complaining about how he's being censored, right? It's like it's obviously bullshit, but people buy it, right? You don't want to give them that narrative. You don't want to give them an actual valid reason to believe that, right? I guess I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Who knows?
This out from a young American female detransitioner. She's quote tweeting a pertinent comment that doesn't seem to be aimed at anyone specific and which says, of course, none of your patients detransition when everyone who detransitions is no longer your patient. Of course, there are no reports of discontent in follow-ups if you don't follow up on those who are discontent. Claims stay unconfirmed because nobody dares to confirm them.
I would need to see a source that demonstrates that.
I don't think that's on the doctors. I think that's on patients not coming back.
Yeah, so if the patients don't come back, wouldn't that be what you would use in a study? I'm pretty sure that's what they use in studies is like if a patient doesn't come back, like that might be like how you determine like the detransition rate. Now this could be like a variable that makes it.
No, that's not what it is.
Oh, it's not? Like if they stop
most of the time, no, because that would be a methodological problem if you consider people that simply just stop coming to the doctor as the detransitioners.
If they stop coming to the doctor and they don't go to another doctor, wouldn't they?
I mean, but you don't have the data that they weren't going to another doctor, at least not in the like US. And in the US, we definitely don't have that. For me personally, I mean, like there was issues where like I couldn't really access like an endocrinologist for like a year, and I like had to like ration my hormones. So like that wasn't me detransitioning. You know, it was my access being kind of limited. For like a myriad
but wouldn't
of reasons.
that be like a potential variable?
I think that's
because like a lot of people who detransition do so because of limited access, or would you not classify that as detransition because you weren't socially detransitioning?
Oh no, yeah, I would say it doesn't count unless you're like making the choice to cease your hormones. Like if I had a choice, like in that time period, like I wasn't detransitioning at all. Like
I would call that like a forced medical detransition. That's what I would call
No, because the truth is that like at this point, I mean, I think it's kind of not good to call that a detransition. Yeah, I'd say detransition is when someone makes the choice to cease identifying as trans, or I think not identifying as trans anymore is probably the baseline as well for that.
I guess. Yeah, no,
That's the best way to tap. I think that's the best way to tap at like what we're trying to look at. Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah. I mean, they're still going to conflate variables, but yeah, you're probably right.
That's the best way to mitigate confounders. Like if I'm only using data from detransitioners, where like the criteria for me detransitioning saying I made the choice to cease being trans, that encompasses people that stop being trans for like the reasons that are like societal, and like they didn't really want to stop, but they did because they felt they had to, plus the people that like actually fully regret it. Like you kind of encompass the wide range there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess what I would say to that is it seems to be the case that like when we define it that way, they seem to conflate variables anyway, which is why I was thinking, okay, maybe we could like find subcategories of detrans, right? Like the same way that there's subcategories of like different types of transition. So like there's social transition, there's like medical transition, etc. So like breaking it down into like subcategories, but that all fall under the detransition umbrella. That was sort of like a logical conclusion that I came to.
I think that like there's those subcategories though within this like this like precedent condition that they made the choice to stop being identifying as trans. There was like an active choice in it.
Yeah.
That you still have subcategories in it. I'm just saying, like, as someone who does research, I do like research every single day in psychology. So like, if from a researcher standpoint, that's what I would do. But from like a philosophical standpoint, you can debate what is detransition. You know?
Yeah, I'm more philosophy brained, so like I'm not. But if that's what serves the most utility in like a research sense, then you're
research.
right. Okay.
Yeah, but then there's also again like the philosophical what is detransition? What can constitute someone being a detransition? Those are philosophical.
And that's sort of what I think about in terms of like how I personally categorize it. But that's not like a scientific thing necessarily. That's more of like
I think it's a balance
it can
because
be scientific.
Philosophy informs. Huh?
Well, yeah, I think to an extent it's also like a sociological thing, which is also scientific, right?
Oh yeah. It's like a top-down approach to like deciding how you're going to conduct your research. Like you have to use philosophy to inform the decisions you make.
Correct. We're getting really into the weeds of it though. Like this person is too stupid to understand anything we just said.
Yeah, I know.
And she adds, I haven't told my clinic I detransitioned out of fear and out of concern for my records. Need them for the court case. Well, good luck with that. They still use my old chosen name and pronouns. Why the F would anyone want to go back to the place that effed up your life? I hate having to go there. Another one from this same lass. Has anyone here ever loved someone who lost sexual function or had their parts messed up by a doctor? With someone who has a messed up voice. I don't feel like anyone will ever love me. I'm so scared. I'm so effing scared.
A man
will fuck
myself. Anything. You'll be fine.
True. That's true. I mean, if that wasn't the case, why are there so many horny people in my chat all the time? I'm just saying. Like, there's always horny people in my chat. They're like, you know, I'm straight, but it's like, well, I'm not a man, so there's no but. There's no I'm straight. You're just straight.
You are straight.
you're literally just straight. Now if a woman's attracted to me, they're gay as fuck. I'm sorry. That's like if you're a woman and you find me attractive, you are not straight. I'm sorry. Like at this point in time, it's like there is oh my god. Anyways.
Comments like these are not rare and isolated on social media. There are loads of them. And anyway, how many regretful detransitioners would there need to be before the cultists acknowledge that it's
a majority? There'd have to be a statistical majority, right? And then it would be because then
don't make down do a monkey again. She can't understand what you just said.
Okay. So you have so here are the percentage, okay? So let's say there are 10 people that transition, okay? Here are my 10 fingers, okay? Now, if let's say, for instance, there are 6 or more that decide that they detransition and that they regret transition, then transition bad. If 6 or more decide that it is good, then transition good. If exactly 5 of them decide it's good and the other 5 decide it's bad, then it is neutral. There, I think that might be, she might be able to wrap her head around that.
Yep.
I don't know. She's obviously not a utilitarian. She's not smart enough to be one.
A problem. I don't think any number would satisfy them. They would still say, as they do now, that just because it was wrong for those people doesn't mean other people should be denied the opportunity to medically transition. Now,
correct. They shouldn't. Like, why should I suffer the consequences of somebody else's wrong decision? Like, the fuck?
That is a fair enough point to make, but why is it so often couched in such contempt? One thing that never...
Couched in contempt? What do you mean? The only people I would have contempt for are people that think I shouldn't be allowed to transition. Those are the only people that I despise, for the most part. Well, not the only people. I despise, like, racist, and... but you get the point.
ceases to appall me is the treatment meted out to those detransitioners who are brave enough to speak out about their regret and criticize the professionals from whom
Being anti-trans is not brave. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's the status quo. I'm sorry, but advocating in favor of the fucking status quo is not brave. That's cuck shit.
they sought so-called gender-affirming care. I was very surprised initially to see people being so nasty to people who had presumably felt the same as they had once felt themselves, but for whom transition had not provided the kind of solution they were hoping for.
This is just not the case. The only people that are gonna be shit on are people that are ideologues like you that are advocating against gender-affirming care.
It seemed to me that it wouldn't be a big deal to say, I'm sorry it hasn't worked out for you, you were obviously not screened carefully enough, you should have got better therapeutic care and not rushed.
Yeah, like conversion therapy. Oh wait, oops. She didn't say it. She didn't get that far yet, never mind.
Into transition or something like that. But I realise now that goes against the narrative they want to promote, which is that being transgender is natural, that
Wait, it doesn't matter if something is natural. It's irrelevant. This is an appeal to nature fallacy. No, that's not the argument. The argument is not that it's natural. There are plenty of things that are not natural that are still good. It's good that we shit on toilets. Do toilets fucking appear out of thin air in fucking nature? No, they do not. Okay? If we appealed to nature and that was our line of reasoning when making moral arguments, we would still be shitting in the woods and wiping our asses with leaves. Okay? So it's not a matter of whether or not something is natural. It's irrelevant. Air conditioning is not natural, but it's still good. Electricity isn't natural, but it's good, etc.
Gender incongruence is a natural phenomenon. We created methods of transitioning that help to alleviate the stress and discomfort of people that experience gender incongruence, which they cannot help feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
And gender transition is the only empirical supported way of treating or helping gender incongruence. There are no other empirically supported methods of working through that issue.
Yeah, the funniest one is always when they're like, oh yeah, well, why don't you just do a different solution that isn't transitioning? It's like, okay,
like
which
what?
one? Like,
conversion
like what?
therapy?
Yeah, exactly. Notoriously, the most effective form of therapy that works every time historically. Like, yeah, it's just delusional brain rot.
How people got born into the wrong body rather than that they developed a psychological disorder, a mental illness or a fetish, or got caught up in a trend spread by social contagion.
Okay, but
I feel like these people don't actually know anything about any of those.
Yeah, it seems to be the case that in terms of like the reasoning behind it, in terms of like being homosexual or trans or gay or whatever the fuck, it seems to be the case that like hormone washing that occurs within the womb is like one of the biggest variables there. From what I understand. There's also
androgen
like
bath.
Yeah. Dude, everybody gangsta till your mom's womb hits you with the fucking androgen bath.
Suddenly I'm a tranny.
Yeah. Thanks for the fucking androgen bath. I fucking hate my life now. God damn it. I mean, but like, let's say that like some variables in terms of like your upbringing, how you're brought up, are what make you gay or trans. That doesn't negate your transness, let's say. Let's say that like there's some sort of like there's some credence to that. Like let's give credence to that idea. Like it doesn't matter. Like what matters is like going forward, what can we do to maximize utility for these people, right? Like what can we do to maximize human happiness? Like that's the way that we should be analyzing this. I don't know. Either
I agree with that.
Hell yeah. Based utilitarianism.
Just as some people are gay or
like
are part of an ethnic.
Why? Okay, Calvin, we need to debate that at some point. Not today, but
Okay, we can one day.
Dude, it's gonna be a base debate. Dude, you're in for a treat. You're in for a wild ride.
Or a religious or cultural minority.
You're everybody gangster till I hit him with the fucking moral realist arguments.
Everyone gangster till I hit him with the deontological arguments.
Oh, no.
Everyone.
You're a deontologist. No, Calvin. Don't be a deontologist. That's cringe.
No, it's
Deontology L. Common utilitarianist W. Deontology is like what Tim Pool believes.
Let me say this situationally, like sometimes the utilitarian choice, if you constrain all your decision making through one frame of or through one framework, like it's not good.
We're not debating this right now. That's like
Okay. Anyways,
that's like an objective list theory, utilitarian argument.
play the
or
fucking
Similar,
video.
it's
I'm
similar
d-
to that, but it's
I had
I've
3
already
hours
argued,
of philosophy class today. I'm done.
I'm sorry.
or all of the above, the modern trans, aka anti-women's rights movement, which appears to be dominated by people
So true, Queen. We want all women to go back to the kitchen and make sandwiches, myself included. Dude, we're gender affirming misogynists over here.
who are none of the above, is trying to present itself as marginalized like those in the other demographics I've mentioned.
I mean, we objectively are. So
Now, I'm not saying that trans-identifying people don't get hated on, don't get discriminated against, don't get beaten up or even murdered for their
okay, well then that completely destroys the previous argument you just made.
non-conformity. Not at all. What I am saying is that over the past several years, in various countries, including the one I'm in, nearly all major institutions have been captured by gender ideology, and trans-identifying people have...
Why? Because they present studies that disprove your worldview? Is that why? Like, again, this is just delusional TERF brain rot. It's like, oh, well, the
It is
studies
TERF
weren't made by
brain rot.
TERFs, who are definitely not the ideologues. They were made by non-TERFs, so clearly they have
Me
some
too,
sort of
you got
ideological
Adderall.
bias. Dude, Adderall.
I'd do
goes
any.
hard.
I would do anything to get her on the stream. Like I would do
Dude,
anything to talk
same,
to her.
same. I've
Well,
challenged
we'll
her
work
to
on that.
Dude, I challenged her to a debate, and she never responded. I'm so sad.
I'll have to message her.
Dude. Dude, she might be willing to debate you.
Fuck Angel wants to talk to you, girl. And it's me and you.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
These people
That'd
love
be-
Buck Angel.
Dude, I would fucking, imagine, I feel like she would dodge me. I'm not gonna lie, cause like, I'm
100%.
like, cause like, I'm like
100%.
an actual debate nerd. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
you're like, whatever, known for being like, just like a regular, like, YouTuber that talks about trans issues. You're not a debate nerd like me. I'm an actual debate nerd.
Oh, you don't understand the amount of time I spent watching BreadTube videos. How do you think I came away from transmedicalism?
That's true.
I watched Destiny and Vosh and
But they
fucking
don't
like
know that,
Riley
but-
and Demon Mama and
Yes, but they don't
people
know that.
know. People know. I was active DGG orbiter. Like
That's true. That's true. But this woman, quote
yeah,
unquote,
she doesn't know.
she doesn't know. That's the point I'm making. Is it's obvious that I'm like a debate nerd. It's like super obvious. It's like just based on how I like talk. It's like even when I'm not debating, I sound like a debate bro. You sound like a normal person.
You might just have autism though.
That is true. But being autistic helps with debates sometimes. I can't lie.
Right. That's true. That's why everyone
It's
who
like-
debates is autistic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think what we might have to do. What if we Sam Cedared her? What if you?
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm H3.
Yeah, you're H3. I'm fucking Sam Cedar. Dude, I'm transgender Sam Cedar. That's crazy.
Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
come
We're gonna
to
work
occupy
on
a
this.
position of privilege. To talk about being marginalized or even oppressed is ridiculous.
No, it's not, because it's objective reality. Unless you're in favor of denying objective reality, which is that we get oppressed, like objectively speaking. That's like you're just denying the reality of the matter.
You might find sometimes that you are socially marginalized by ordinary people, but you've got most
We're also institutionally marginalized when we're not given access to necessary medical care. So, yeah, it's not just social marginalization. Not to mention that social marginalization is derivative. It's derived from institutional marginalization and vice versa, right? They build off of each other. It's like a cycle, right? Like for instance, if we take institutional and structural racism and the relationship between that and like individual slash interpersonal racism, right? Like what came first, the systemic racism or the interpersonal racism? Probably the interpersonal racism, but eventually they went hand in hand and fed into each other and one made the other worse.
of the powers
I
that
had
be
to talk about that all this morning with some
Damn.
brain rot people in my philosophy class.
It's the reason that their brains are rotting is because they're not based utilitarians like me.
No, that's. Have you ever read? This is such a long time. Do you know who Robert Nozick is?
No, this is stuff we should talk about later. We got a video to go through. We can't be too nerdy.
on your side. I first heard of 18-year-old Chloe Cole when she was interviewed by Benjamin Boyce. Put on blockers at 13, double mastectomy at 15. This is criminal. Who wants to keep a young woman in a child's body?
What? You're the one that cares about the
I don't
fertility of
know.
children. Like, what are you talking about?
That's
Like-
really crazy. Right.
It's like they complain about, oh, they're gonna lose fertility. Yeah, when they're children, and then when they go off the blockers, if they do that, they gain it, because that's what
Also,
puberty
like-
does. So like,
Also,
unless you're
I'm-
Matt Walsh.
I had surgery under the age of 18 and hormones, and I have not regretted that one day in my whole life. So clearly, like, it is the right thing for some people.
Yeah, but Calvin, what about John Money?
What about David Reimer?
Yeah. What about the Jazz Jennings case?
Poor Jazz Jennings.
Oh god. I don't, dude. I feel, oh god, I feel bad for Jazz Jennings. It's like, damn.
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
It's like, she does not deserve this. Like, there's no way in hell she's in favor of her identity being fucking weaponized the way that it has been.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Detransitioned at 16. Here's some hate she got recently. Traitor Nazi. What? Piece of trash. Fake bot. And this is one response she attracted when she tweeted that.
Oh my god, guys, there was this one person that called me a Nazi this one person that called another person who was a detransitioner a Nazi, so that means that gender ideology has gone too far because of this one singular person in Twitter DMs, notoriously the best place to pull information from to represent an entire category of people.
Nobody condemns Chloe for detransitioning. Chloe is condemned for blaming everyone around her instead of acknowledging her own agency.
I don't know anything about Chloe, but if she's like advocating against trans rights, then yeah, that's her fault. Nobody's making her do that.
Demanding treatment in the first place, and for transitioning into a tool used by hateful bigots to destroy the lives of other trans people. Why this pretense that everyone who transitions confidently knows exactly what they are doing, even at age...
No one said that every single trans person confidently knows. Like, I didn't confidently know at first, right? Took me forever to even come out to myself, let alone the world. Like, are you, like...
literally. Like, and
that's like,
me
this
and
is
you,
like an argument of, like, she's conflating, like, gender, like, people that are, like, more fluid in their gender, like me, versus, like, people that are, like, that know, like, when they're, like, 2 years old, like you, Calvin. Like, they think we're all the same, basically, like...
And you can chalk that up to like individual differences as well. It doesn't even always just mean that like whatever mechanism is making you feel gender incongruence is like different. Me and you probably have a pretty similar inner mechanism there.
Oh,
it's
yeah, for
literally
sure.
just individual differences. Like I really truly believe that. Like I think that like there are people who are just not as adept to dealing with internal suffering, and also your environment also plays a difference. And if you live in a really progressive area, progressive parents who are supportive of LGBT people, and you are just someone who's not very good at dealing with suffering, and like you just are kind of an extroverted or overt person that's open about your feelings, like you're going to come out sooner. That's nothing to do with
like,
how trans you are.
Yeah, literally. Like I'm very introverted, and it's like I
Right.
always thought that I've always felt the need to like be repressive and like bottle everything up and like not express myself. And
We
it's
need to
like-
do a study. I need to do a study, or somebody does, on the correlation between age of coming out as trans and the extent to which someone is introverted or extroverted.
Yeah.
Because I really think those things would be significantly correlated. I really
Oh,
think
yeah,
that, or
absolutely.
positive. I think that the more introverted you are, the higher the age that you come out likely is. The later.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No,
that's all.
it is kind of interesting how that works.
13 and doesn't suffer from any kind of mental health issue. Here's another. You all do realise that surgeries she had at such a young age are extremely unusual.
Which is objectively true.
Puberty blockers, yes, but surgery, no.
Correct.
Well, I should bloody well hope they're unusual.
Well, they objectively are, so
Alright.
congratulations, your wish has been granted. Like, what?
They shouldn't happen at all. Either.
Oh, okay. So what solution
is
do you
the leap.
propose?
TERF
Yeah.
leap, right?
Yeah, it's like, what do you propose? Okay, don't give them surgery? Oh, fine, I guess. That's not like an unreasonable position, but puberty blockers are reversible. And generally it's the case that minors don't get surgery. Like, that's very far and few in between.
Also, if it wasn't the case, that trans children have been able to transition because there's pretty strong evidence that it's in most cases the right thing to do, and it's a good practice, right? What's the alternative reason for why it's been established, you know? Are you trying to say there's this greater agenda of doctors to try to make people trans?
Yeah,
like, what's the alternative reason?
You see, it's actually George Soros collaborating with the fucking what's his face, John Money. Okay, it's John Money and George Soros. You know,
everything is John Money's fault.
Yeah, it's all John Money's fault because John Money was working directly for George Soros he was like you know how like George Soros is like the CEO of the Jewish cabal. You see, John Money was like the CFO, right? So he was like and he's also the CEO of transgenderism. So they were like working together, right? So it was like this grand conspiracy to trans the kids and push the gay agenda.
You know, I've always thought that might be the case.
Yeah.
And you just confirmed it.
Yeah. You know, it couldn't possibly be the case that like, oh, scientists just came to this conclusion independently because it's the accurate conclusion that is statistically.
It's not like doctors did the best that they could to like help out children who are suffering with medical and mental illnesses.
That couldn't be the case. That could
never be.
That would be too straightforward and obvious. Like, what do you mean? Like,
it wouldn't make any sense. It would be weird.
No. Yeah. No. The problem is it would make too much sense. So clearly you'd be missing something.
Yes.
But yeah.
The surgeries nor the puberty blockers, they shouldn't happen. They are both beyond iniquitous. All the screaming about mutilating children.
Yeah. I would ask her to define that in a debate and see if she knows what it is.
Is absurd. No, it isn't. It's a sign that there are still people who are thinking straight, unlike you. She is.
You mean like people that are against science, like you? People that are in favor of allowing anecdotal evidence to supersede actual scientific data? Because if that's the case, then what?
Before my Adderall kicked in class today, I called a Christian girl anti-intellectual.
Based. Unironically based. That's
to engage in anti-intellectualism. Like, I was so like off the cuff. It was so embarrassing.
I mean, you're not wrong though.
I felt like such a debate bro in that moment.
Dude, I'm a debate bro in every moment, regardless of whether or not I'm on my Adderall.
It was in like philosophy. I'm a TA for philosophy 101.
Oh my god, that makes it even funnier.
Oh no. Okay, continue.
All right.
Being in attention and is carted around and put on display by the Christ fascist. Of course, everyone who disagrees with transitioning children is a fascist of some sort, whereas those who defend it are paragons of virtue.
I mean, I would argue that most TERFs are pretty fascistic. There's a reason that they're willing to collaborate with actual neo-Nazis and shit. Like, the only thing stopping them is optics, and even that's not enough to stop them. Adderall is dextroamphetamine. Oh, you were responding to somebody in chat. Jesus. Yeah. Real.
I stumbled upon this tweet by @JadeRants, a young Mexican woman who grew up in California. It's hard to think about the fact that in another life, there was an older version of me that wasn't stunted by chest binding and tea. There was a me that was supposed to have full breasts, clear skin, a soft voice, a hairless chin.
Life, I will be your girl.
What's funny is that this specific example that she's bringing up, while it is anecdotal and therefore kind of irrelevant, what's interesting is if this individual just went on puberty blockers and then went through the regular puberty, this wouldn't have been an issue. Well, like, so this is a non-argument. Like, it's just nothing. It's a nothing burger. Not to mention, you're sourcing Twitter rather than something statistically significant. Again, it's like a study with an n value of 1. Oh, here's one.
This is like what I used to do to try to justify trans medicalism when I was like 15.
Right.
That's what's insane.
Bro, yeah, it's like the kinds of arguments that I would have made when I was like 12 or 13. It's like, oh god.
Source Twitter.
Yeah, literally. Here's like, it's like, oh my god, it's just conservative brain rot. That's what this is. These people will claim to be progressive, but they're not. They do the same shit as conservatives. They have no intellectual rigor. They're just anti-intellectual. It's crazy, truly.
No surgery scars, gallbladder, and thick hair. I should say that she has not had any kind of gender-affirming surgery, and it's not clear
Okay, so then that disproves the entire premise of that.
whether her taking testosterone caused the gallstones she had surgically removed, but there is some evidence emerging of a causal link.
Okay, do you have like a statistically
What's
significant...
hypogonadism?
I don't know. It's something that's not
Is-
statistically significant, that's for sure. It'd be like finding one example of somebody that got sick from taking Tylenol and being like, nobody should ever have access to Tylenol ever again because Tylenol bad. Also, oops, I think I accidentally... Where were we in the video? We were like... we
26.
were- Yeah, 26.
All the
Okay.
screaming about mutilating children is absurd. No, it isn't. It's
Yes,
a
it
side
is.
course. Based upon this tweet by
Okay,
there was a
here we
me
go.
that was scared
Yep,
of
alright.
a causal link. Jade has given me her permission to tell her story in this video, by the way. I'll just show a few of the many tweets of
L Jade. L Bozo. Imagine being Jade. What a poopy head. Dude, I'm too tired for this shit, man. Bro, I can't.
hers I read to give the gist. She is now 23 years old. I hit puberty at 9. I was bullied and relentlessly mocked for hitting puberty earlier than the other kids. Rumor
Okay. So this would be an example of a cis person maybe benefiting from puberty blockers. So again, you being against gender affirming care is just something that harms cis kids as well.
was that I had been assaulted. I was a freak for developing. From that moment, I was already set up for a testosterone prescription.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. There's no evidence of this.
Bullying for being perceived as different in some way features in so many of the accounts given by young female transition.
God, who does that remind me of? Bullying people for being different? Oh, gee golly. What does that remind me of? I don't know. What about you, Kalvin? Can you think of a single thing that reminds you of? Bullying people for being different? God, I can't think of a single example.
I have no
Anyways.
idea.
Also, I think my Streamlabs is lagging again. I can't fucking do this shit anymore. I'm so fucking... Dude,
We can wrap it up since you're getting tired.
Yeah. Alright.
I don't think she has anything that great to say in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And if she did, come debate us, Maria.
Literally.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah, Maria, debate us, bitch. Bitch ass. Oh god, my PC is lagging. I think it's Jover. Dude, I didn't used to have this issue. There's some stupid, like, update probably. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna disappear for a bit. Smash like and subscribe. Yeah, I don't... You're getting EP? True. Hello, Femyoz.
I'm fucking
Why
tired
hello?
as hell.
Dude, I can't do this shit anymore. Dude.
Bye, TERFs.
Bye. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. EP-yos? Yeah, I am EP. I can't help it. Alright, goodbye.
I sent you the articles. Sorry that I kept getting sidetracked. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm the same way. I'm just fucking autistic as hell. Alright, let me find some... Alright, who do I raid? I'm gonna raid Jalen. Yeah, we'll raid Jalen. Alright. Anyways,
Slay.
goodbye.
Bye.